How's it going? We are live. We are live. How's it going? Hey, everybody. We're live. We're pretty much doing the whole clickbait thing. I'm sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. We were talking about what happened with the whole Call of Duty situation. How's it going? So, we'll begin the show. We'll copy the link and show everybody the live stream. Let's see if that works. Let's see if it works. Now, right now I'm just doing something. Let's see if this works, because I know that this is not going to be fun. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and begin the show. I'm your host, JT Vega. I just do a weird-ass live stream. I get some oddball people, but I also get some really opinionated people as well on this live stream. I know that most people don't like what I have to say. Sometimes people think I'm stupid. Now, let's begin the show as soon as possible. Well, I'm trying to talk to a friend named my friend Carl about this. He's talking about it, and we're just I'm trying to debate with him about this whole situation. Yeah, it's a little no, it's yeah, because I'm trying to tell him, I'm trying to explain to him that this whole thing is just clickbait with Anne Frank, Call of Duty World War II, Anne Frank. The point I'm making here is that people are trying to rewrite history over the whole Call of Duty situation, trying to talk about diversity and everything. And I'm just trying to point out something here about the whole situation with Anna Frank. Is that what if? Because a lot of people are just gonna make up shit. A lot of people are just trying to, make a click. And I know this is a clickbait title, but but it makes a good point. Anna Frank in Call of Duty 2 as the main heroine. Think about it. All the stuff she wrote was all lies. And the thing is, I'm just making that point across to him about this because it's just a joke. It's not a big deal. I understand that Anna Frank had to deal with an ordeal with her life, hiding behind a place where she couldn't really avoid the Nazis and everything that are trying to kill her. And the fact is, yeah, I just wanted to prove a point to somebody about this, that this is all clickbait. This is just a ridiculous point of view that I'm just making up. I know that most people may not agree with me on this. It's just something I wanted to do. Now, let's see if I can get this point across to Carl, because I know that Carl is pretty upset about me doing Call of Duty with Anne Frank on there. It's just a lot of people are trying to rewrite history on certain things, and I understand that most people don't. They think that this is creepy, but yes, we gotta save Anne Frank. No, no, actually, Anne Frank has to pick up a gun and kill a Nazi. That's the point of the idea of this, is that we're trying to rewrite history on Anne Frank. How Anne Frank tried to shoot the Nazis with a gun, and suddenly picks up a gun as a 13-year-old girl to take revenge and try to liberate the people in Auschwitz. That's the plot line to Call of Duty World War II and Frank DLC. Clickbait. Now, most people will not like what I have to say about this, but that's the point. Now, some people may disagree with me on this, but this was just a joke. Now, a lot of people may not like the idea of Anne Frank. So I'm just trying to get people to come in and see if they want to talk about Anne Frank, Call of Duty DLC, or something else in the political spectrum of what they want to talk about. As far as I know most people hate what I have to say about this. Now, most people may find it offensive that I would do Call of Duty over Anne Frank. Call of Duty World War II Anne Frank DLC. No, it's just clickbait. And it's not a big deal. I understand that some people may disapprove of what I have to say about this, but this is something because I noticed that a lot of people tend to talk about the whole Call of Duty like they seriously are trying to rewrite history here about World War II. It's like and a lot of people have been writing like a lot of stories saying a lot of things about it. Like I know that Polygon talked about it. I know that a lot of other news sites had talked about the diversity issue that they had with it, but it shouldn't be a concern because a lot of people need to understand this whole issue. Call of Duty World of War over diversity misses the point. Now, a lot of people don't really understand this, but there is a lot of history. There is a lot of history behind it, but Schaefer. I don't know, because lately I know that the a writer for Kotaku was talking about this. A lot of journalists have been talking about this, but it's like, man, they really want to attack the whole thing. How's it going?
Nigga.
How's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Cause I can't.
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Can you can't hear me? Hold on, let me fix this. I don't know if this works. Hold on.
Oh, wait.
You can hear me?
What?
You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right, good. Because it's probably because I'm using the camera phone right now. I'm using the camera as the microphone right now.
Oh, that explains everything.
Yeah, explains everything for me. So how's everything?
Be pretty decent actually.
Yeah.
Albeit, I am a little disappointed that Merle Le Pen lost.
Oh, really? She lost the election?
Yeah.
Well, I can understand why, because the other guy seems to have a reasonable, because he's more of a conservative, from what I understand, but he's also about about really reasonable policies, and I guess they wanted to go with him, but you can't blame Le Pen for trying.
Yeah, that is true. Well, no use crying over spoiled milk, really.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of sad too. A lot of people in KRA were getting accused of right wing and all this other shit. It's like I could care less what goes on in that whole situation, because I'm not French, so I don't really know what's going on.
Well, in the case of France, after all the terrorist attacks that happened, I guess it was. I guess the Macron didn't get the message.
Well, they even when he got the whole email scandal thing happening to him because the leaks happened. Oh boy, they're really and of course the websites are trying to take them down left and right, like they're trying to block that shit.
They actually blocked 4chan under ISPs.
4chan's fucked anyways.
So any surrender monkey that's using 4chan has to use a proxy or two.
Yeah, they have to use a proxy or some other. Yeah, because it's kind of sad too, and that's a big loss to them. What can the French
I'll
do?
be honest. Well, I'll be honest here. Knowing how the Kalos region really likes their white chucks of peace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're fucked. I know that. Yeah, it's just the reason why I stayed out of that whole French election thing, because I'm not French. Two, I'm not really. I just don't know what goes on in France to care what they do. And it's like the only things I heard was the whole Micron leaks thing. That was it. And the funny thing is, Susan Harrison, managing editor of Lawfare on the microlinks, only effective deterrent left on the hands of the press do not cover the substance of the emails, or at least refused on principle to take part. A lot of a lot of outrage has been going out to that whole situation.
A friend of mine came up with the new flag design for France.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear God, it's beautiful. Diversity is our strength in France.
Yeah.
So we added. So the what happened was the dude added the. How should I say this?
Mm-hmm.
The Muslim moon and star in the white part.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Let me look at some articles. Signing off from the French minister puts Macron at 66%, virtually all votes counted, and that's where it's going to leave the live blog. Thanks for reading the full wrap up of the events of France. Having to look at the news story, the Paris correspondent Angelique Crossfas, my colleagues at London, a new blog. Okay, this is from The Guardian. I don't like The Guardian, but let's see here. Okay, Emmanuel Macron's marriage proves politics is different in France. So basically, simple love story of 15-year-old boy meets a much older drama teacher in high school. Damn. Damn. Macron got. Okay, his parents can't keep them apart, so years later, the mother of three eventually divorces her husband and marries his former student. They flourished, and then he runs for president when he's. Yes, the true love story of how he got molested. Yes, Mark.
You know what's funny? You ever heard of Vacilón por la Mañana?
Yeah, no, I never. Is that TV show?
No, it was actually the radio station,
Mm-hmm.
the radio show. Well, his last name reminds me of like a mixture of both words.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Spanish word, yeah, basically the Spanish word for faggot and cabrón for fucker.
Yeah. Yeah. The funny thing about it is that his wife is like 64 and he's 39.
What?
Yeah.
He's 40. His wife is 64.
Yep.
This motherfucker has a granny face, man.
Yeah, but unfortunately, yeah, because what happened was they met in high school. He
How?
Yeah. So yeah,
How?
Yeah, they met in high school. It was basically his teacher was a drama teacher, and his.
What?
Yeah, Micron love blossomed when his wife Bridget surfaced, and it says his parents told her to stay away until he was 18 and shipped it off to Paris. Now, years later, still together, he will become the next president of France to run off the election in conservative Marine Le Pen Sunday. You can imagine politicians with personal lives. Macron succeeded in the U.S., maybe or maybe not in France, but it's met with a shrug. It's like, yeah, because I'm reading the CNN thing. So basically, congratulations, Macron. Mr. Macron. Can't pronounce his name correctly. I swear to God,
Macron.
Macron.
Fuck it, Macron.
I do it by Macron.
Well, I
Macron.
could just I could just call him fucker faggot or faggot fucker, whichever comes first.
Why Macron won? It's because his wife was 64.
If I lived in France, my vote would still go to Marine.
Yeah.
I'm with her, son.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, did you? So here's the thing. I was reading the theme to the stream right now, right? The theme name. How the fuck would this work at the Anne Frank DLC?
Simple. What if all the stuff that she wrote on her book in her diary was all lies? She picked up a gun and shot Nazis. Think about it. They're trying to rewrite history. Think about it. All the news outlets are trying to rewrite history on this whole thing, trying to bring women into the in World War II history. If Anne Frank was, because remember, she was in the war when it all happened, hiding out. So think about it. She could have been secretly killing Nazis without us even knowing about it. Think about it. Because she was in the hot zone while this all happened.
Oh man!
What if all the shit that she wrote was all lies? All of it. She wrote everything that was all because remember, half of it was fiction, half of it was true.
Yeah, it was basically a fanfic.
Yeah, where she had a fantasy about having sex with a. Well, she had a really big fetish for a Nazi man in uniform. No joke, it was in the book.
Fuck.
So and that's code for she backstabbed a German guy without us even knowing. She used an ink pen. It was dipped in poison and stabbed the motherfucker in the back of the neck.
Oh, dude, what if? And this has been a thing during Jewish communities in Germany. What if she knew Krav Maga? I would be surprised if she could snap a motherfucker's spine in half with a Krav Maga move.
Yeah, she probably did, and we don't know. Because we don't know if it's true or not. But we insist on making this a Call of Duty DLC for this to happen. Because really, I noticed that Polygon, I noticed that a lot of other news outlets are trying to say, oh, we need diversity in this. Okay, we'll put Anne Frank in there. we'll put it as, what if Anne Frank diaries were all lies, and this time, this little 13-year-old girl manages to kill a Nazi with an ink pen and backstabbed it right in his neck. Dipped in poison, as you never seen her before, beating the crap out of everyone and liberating Auschwitz like you've never seen her before. A 13-year-old who manages to pick up a gun and shoot some Nazis. In Call of Duty World War II DLC, Anne Frank.
Anne Frank edition.
The
3 times the XP and unlimited bullets.
Yeah. Yes, we need an Anne Frank DLC. Thus, so that Polygon doesn't have to bitch about, oh, where's the diversity in this game? So we're going to put Anne Frank into the game and thus rewrite history.
Yeah, it worked well with a couple of it worked well with shit like Rosa Parks standing up and shooting the motherfucker in the head while she was in the back of the bus.
Yes, we need to rewrite history and tell everyone to put Anne Frank into the video game, just because it's just that good.
Now, here's the thing: who would play Anne Frank?
Maybe Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman.
Yes.
She did play an underage hooker as her first role.
Yeah, she did.
And
well, we could try. Let me look for any other Jewish actresses. Some young ones.
I would say Chloe. What's her name again? Oh yeah, Chloe Grace Moretz.
Let's see. Millie Kunis, Scarlett Johansson, and Goldie Hawn. She's pretty old. Yeah, Balik.
Dude, I got the
Emma
perfect
Rosen. Emma Rosen. That's another one.
I got the perfect voice actress for her. Chloe Moretz.
Chloe Moretz. Okay, that would sound like a good one.
Well, if you ignore the fact that she's a feminist and all that.
Yes, and we should she would actually be the perfect idea woman for the whole, voice of Anne Frank. I don't know. Maybe it could work. Maybe it won't work. I don't know. I'm thinking. Guess what I'm thinking of doing next week? I'm thinking about making a Chanology video.
Another one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing Ebola Chan.
God damn, dude! It's been a while since I've heard shit about Ebola Chan.
Yeah, a lot of people never talk about Ebola Chan, but I actually have stock footage of people, worshiping her, and I'm not joking. They have shrines of her, even pictures of her, and I'm just like what the? It's like no joke. A lot of people are worshiping Ebola Chan whenever they have an Ebola outbreak in Africa. I'm not joking. They actually worship her whenever the Ebola.
Oh, I remember that. People used to say, Daisuki Ebola-chan.
Yep, and they actually made a cartoon out of it too.
Yeah, I think I remember it was that Japanese channel that had her.
Yeah, and they always joke around about her.
Let's see what else.
Yeah.
Well, I can't get away from this, but some people have been tagging me in Puerto Rico related articles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The government is bankrupt.
Again?
For real.
Again, they always do this. Yeah, a lot.
I was like, what the?
Why do I always get these people? I always get the bots.
The bots?
Yeah, I get the porn bots. I get the porn bots that keep sharing stuff, videos that I made. Like seriously, they're probably telling me you need to get laid. Seriously.
You guys are niggers, man. Fucking thoughts, man. Those bots are thoughts, man.
Yeah.
That's why I made a little something called Bot Patrol. It's like Dot Patrol but with bots. And I personally go and talk shit to bots.
Yeah.
You know, JT, you wanna fuck. You wanna get tip? Ask them where is how many states the United States has?
How many states? Oh,
No, not just that. Sorry, what I meant to say was, tell me all the 50 states of the United States.
I have no idea.
That alone makes people deactivate
Deactivate their Twitters.
Well, not just their Twitters, their Facebooks too.
Yeah. Even I don't always know all the states or the capitals. Like most people don't realize. Everyone assumes let me put it this way. Everyone assumes that the capital Washington is Seattle. It isn't. It's actually Olympia, Washington. And I lived in Washington State to know this for a fact.
Let's see what else.
Let's see, what else are they up to now? What are other people up to right now? Speedo, yeah. I know that Carl kind of got upset with me when I posted that image of Anne Frank and Call of Duty together. He's like, "Sorry, JT, I'm not joining the stream, JT. Sorry, man. Seriously, yeah, but it's a little fucked up seeing her picture on the stream with words Call of Duty. It's clickbait. I'm pointing that out to him." He got upset with me using Anne Frank's image. Like, man, people get really upset with me when I do that whole thing. Well, Failure Accomplished actually got his stream up and running. That's good. It's 45 people versus 2. So, anyways, go to his live stream if you want more entertaining discussions. Mostly my live stream is very boring and it doesn't really do much of anything. We just discuss about random shit that happens. So what are you up to, man? Go ahead and talk about it. I'm sorry.
Oh, dear. No, it's all right. Okay. I'll be honest. I haven't done much recently. My back's getting better now. My brother turned 40 when I was preparing his birthday party. I tripped and fell down the stairs.
That sucks.
Yeah, apparently I'm accident prone, but yeah, I still got the bruises, but I don't give a fuck. Also, went to Aguadilla today.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like there was a bunch of exotic cars on the highway.
I saw the pictures of it. I saw the pictures you showed me. Like you saw that Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's not to find something like that, you know.
My
I'm like, damn.
yeah, my dad had to trade in his old car for that Chevy Camaro thing. It was just like, what?
Hey,
He
that's a super sport, isn't it?
yeah, yep, it is.
Oh, fucking nice. My dad used to own a couple of Camaros in here. Only they were C28 and one was an IROC, which was the top of the line model.
That's not bad. My dad had to pay a lot of money just to get that car. That's like he had to give up he had to give up two vehicles in order to get that car. Because he got tired of fixing them. Because I don't know why he hates fixing those cars.
The other thing is people usually ask a pickup truck owner whenever they want to move shit.
Yeah, that's what Dad hates about it. He gave up his truck because he knows that people would ask him, but he's not going to move shit for anybody. It's good money, but it's not something you would want to do.
Yeah, you know what sucks? My stepdad actually did this. He lent his Ford Ranger to someone, a relative of his, and lo and behold, 7 fines came through the mail.
7 fines.
Yeah,
I'm guessing they didn't bother. They parked an illegal.
no. Basically, they ran through the automated
system
toll.
Wow.
Yeah, they went through the automated toll booths without paying, and that's how he got the fines.
That sucks. Next time he should have taken the car and helped drive himself there instead of having someone else borrow the truck.
Yeah, that's the thing. Knowing his Knowing his stepson, he ain't paying shit. My bad. Knowing his son, he ain't paying shit. I'm the stepson. My bad.
You're the stepson.
Yeah, dude. Sorry.
It's cool, man. I understand you're sick.
Well, I still have. I don't know what I have, but I think I still have a couple of things from that leftover cold.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that. You weren't feeling good.
But what actually made my day was that freaking Scion IQ next to me. Jesus Christ, dude. That thing made my day. I mean, it had like a freaking Rocket Bunny kit that was homemade. It ends up the guy made the whole bloody body kit for it. It was damn. I gotta give him props for that.
And it worked.
It worked. It may be as slow as a fucking Indy car because let's be honest here, the roads here fucking suck.
Yeah, and a lot of people like to drive crazy down there. I know because I remember seeing how people drive. Especially
go look
in the
this.
rain.
Sorry.
Good.
Dude, have I told you that there was a riot last Monday?
What happened? Because I like to hear the details.
Dude, you know that, right? You know what? You know that May Day protest that happened in Atorrey down at the metro area of Puerto Rico? Well, some chick, some people actually broke the windows of the banks.
Is
Like,
it the Banco Popular or the other one?
yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
Some anarcho communists decided to fuck shit up.
I'm assuming she got arrested.
Dude, she's facing 25 years in prison for arson.
Yeah, and I'm assuming those people are gonna be like, no, she did nothing wrong.
Dude, here's what happened. She was a model, right? And the thing was, she was going to light up the Banco Popular bank on fire.
Yikes.
Yeah. So the police caught her. So people were setting fire to shit on the street and breaking windows. I didn't realize we had that many anti-fascists.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
But you know, half of these entitled assholes came from the UPR. So, oh, speaking of, a bunch of those faggots from the University of Puerto Rico broke into the faculty. The faculty office and started shouting at the dean. Like straight up looking at her face, she was going to have a nervous breakdown when all of those socialist shitheads were screaming at her.
This is funny. This is fun. I'm looking at this like, okay, this is what I don't know if this is true or not, but this is the depths of 4chan talking about a woman, Lily Mae Mack. You know who Lily Mae Mack is?
Mm-mm.
Definitely going to marry a white boy. I want a half-caste baby, a cute white boy with yellow fever. So many mediocre Asian girls coped it with really hot white boys. Yes, I have a chance. If I had
Can you
another
link that
short,
shit?
yeah, I'll link it right in the side chat. This is funny because I'm just looking at the depths of 8chan right now. They're just like talking crazy ass shit right now.
Oh, of course it was going to be Paul. Oh yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, and they have a picture. They have a picture of her holding a pizza and everything. It's like my dad is cheering me on.
Cheer me
He
on.
said if he's white, then it's okay. Like,
fuck.
Lily McPlanick, an Asian Instagram model, more than 3 million followers, is under fire for old tweets about refusing to date Asian men. 2013.
Here's the thing. She's Filipino.
Yeah.
And oh my god, that fucking graffiti. Asian and lab suck dick. And some lick.
I'm kind of surprised by this. Asian boy, white woman. Asian guy, white girl. Asian man.
Asian and level suck dick. Obviously for life, cunts. White power.
Yes.
So people are giving her shit because she is ashamed, in parentheses, about being a Filipina.
Yeah. Like
people give white people shit for yellow fever, but what do they call Asians who like white people?
I don't know.
It's called white fever.
White fever. I'm just reading all these little shit post things. Yale student slams Samurai Jack for homophobic, sexist, cultural appropriation.
Yeah. God, that a friend of mine posted that in my and he was like, here's the thing. He acts sort of like a Tumblr, right?
Mhm.
But the good kind of Tumblr, I can't believe I'm saying this. There's no such thing as a good Tumblr, right? But he was saying that these people were being sensitive, hyper triggered
By
as
Samurai
usual.
Jack.
Yeah, because Samurai Jack was having sexual relations with one of Aku's daughters. That triggered Tumblr.
Yeah. All because he had
What doesn't trigger these bitches?
he had a relationship with Aku's daughter. Like, yeah, especially there. I remember there was a part where they were like, Samurai Jack blowing at her ass. That was funny. There was like a meme that someone did that they actually had Samurai Jack blowing into her ass.
So basically, you mean to tell me that Samurai Jack eats ass?
No, he blew into the ass, and it was funny.
Oh dear God, that fucking last post on the thread.
I need to
Turk posting loudly.
I need to watch that whole series because that I haven't. I need to catch up on it. I'll probably need to look it up later on at night when my family sleeps.
Oh, check this shit out. Armenians are white, interbreeding with Mongols. Say, okay, gee, I wonder who's behind this post with a picture that says Turk posting loudly. That's the funny thing. I had a visit from a Turkish motherfucker in my room. He was crawling. He was crawling. How should I? Fuck. He was crawling in the walls.
Yeah.
He was big, man. He was. I was about to crush him with my shoe, but no, he went away. Fucking Turkish bastards. First they send their bullshit novellas, and now this. Hey Erdogan, I got one of your guys.
Yeah. Samurai jacked off. Samurai jacked off HD. The memes are just getting really funny. Like I'm just looking at the memes. The memes are hilariously making fun of Samurai Jack. Like, I don't really have a problem with him. Like this weekend on Straits ruined everything. The unoriginal joke relating to Samurai. They really wanted to turn Samurai Jack gay. They were hoping that.
Oh yeah, like that. Oh, but guess what? They fucked with the wrong man because Genndy Tartakovsky is a shitlord.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't give a fuck. He was born in Soviet Russia, man. He ain't having that shit.
Yeah, at least he's following his dream of becoming an animator, and he did it. And even though the cartoons, at first, a lot of his cartoons didn't start off well enough, but they managed to get a lot of impressions from a lot of people, and a lot of people liked it. And it's like, can you people just at least leave him alone? Hell,
Genndy is not going to budge. What the fuck are you people doing?
He's gonna make his show.
Oh, speaking of Japanese stuff, I bought the Dead or Alive trilogy on the Xbox Live.
That's good.
For cheap.
How much?
Because I wanted to. $5. Around $5.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's kind of cheap. That goes from 1 to 2 to 3 and all the other.
Yeah, no, I had to pick the console version over the PC version, but Honestly, I just bought it because I want to understand why people like Devil May Cry so much. You know?
Yeah, you realize why.
Yeah, the attacks are way over the top, and the characters are fucking edgelords. The kind of edgelords that blast Linkin Park
Mm-hmm.
and cut them. Fuck.
Yeah, they kind of did that because the reason why that series is because was so popular because the female characters, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that it was better. It was better than Virtual Fighters. And I used to play a lot of the Virtual Fighter series, but it started to get really bland after a while.
You know what fighting game I saw that I didn't even know that it was a thing, but there was a remake of Fighting Vipers.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a
$10
good one.
though.
$10 for a remake of Fighting Vipers.
But here's the thing. In the case, since I live in Puerto Rico, they charge me the sales tax.
That sucks. The sales tax is like,
yeah,
that's a lot of money.
$2.79 per purchase.
Per purchase, that sucks.
Let's see. Oh, speaking of Samurai Jack memes, the only one I've been seeing as of late was the extra thick ones. Aku sounds too much like their swear word for ass.
Yeah, they're joking around about that too. Like there's memes popping up on Twitter about Samurai Jack.
You know, I can get why he said it was extra thick because he's started kind of booty, man. Like, damn.
Yeah, because the whole situation where they bend her over was kind of ridiculous. While she was chained up, a lot of people were like joking around about it too. Like they made memes of her. Like already,
yeah, basically she's
yeah. Go ahead.
Basically, she is she has an S&M fetish.
Pretty much, and a lot. And I think a lot of people were kind of upset about that one too.
That's weird because apparently S&M is feminist.
Isn't feminist? It's oppression. And I thought it was it was kind of weird though. A lot of people are analyzing that stuff too.
Who's that here? James, Julie.
Yeah, there's so many. There's like so much fan art too of it too. Like let me show you the here's one example that someone tried to draw. Like they kind of did that whole. Let me think. Let me give you the image.
Oh, I'm reading this on poll. Dear Fat Kimmy, there's a French baker married to her grandma who's planning to replace you with Young 10. Oh dear God, they were just having a go at Kim Jong-un.
Yeah. And even comics and animation is talking about it too. Like they're talking about her ass. Like this is the image that everyone's talking about.
You know who plays her? If I recall, that you could place her is none other than Grey Delisle.
That's interesting.
Or Grey Griffin, as she's known nowadays.
Grey Griffin.
Yeah, because she's married to someone named that whose last name is Griffin. Well,
Yep. Samurai Jack. Let's see here.
oh, I gotta ask you something. Oh, all right. I was gonna ask you, but I wonder if anyone. I'm gonna have to ask a friend of mine who watches that show. Does it still have the theme song that was sung by will.i.am?
I think it does. Da, 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 da. Yeah.
Gotta Jack,
Yep,
Samurai
they do.
Jack.
Yep, they do. Yeah. Yeah, because this is the thing that they were going to try to do. Like, this was the picture that everyone was talking about. Like, her butt sticking out.
Well, what else do you expect?
And chained up.
She has a freaking she has a freaking skin tight suit.
Yeah, but I remember watching the first episode of it, and him in armor. Like you don't realize he's in armor, but he's like in armor trying to fight off like the Aku's minions, and he's like in a motorcycle using guns.
$70,000 million.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. That's pretty much what happened, and of course, Aku. It's kind of weird how he had to raise his daughters just to do this.
It was more of a set than anything else.
Yeah. And it's like Samurai Jack never ages, and that was the weird part about that whole story.
Oh,
although he grows a beard,
Devil's
but he never
Advocate.
does.
The guy who's in charge behind that Devil's Advocate on YouTube. Men on that site allow other men to bang their wives, and the chicks allow hordes of penises to slap them in the vagina. Man, Dion's been going at it with the shit posting.
Pretty much.
Okay. Dang. Oh, you know what I was watching today? I started out Car Ranger.
Car Ranger?
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of friends of mine suggested to me. It's basically it was the base for Power Rangers Turbo.
Ah.
Yeah. Only it's better. Fucking Saban butchered that show so bad.
Car Ranger. This is a Japanese version. Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard about that show a little bit, but it was kind of vague to me, and I'm like, yeah, was it the one with the police car and the Toyota? I forgot which one was it. The Toyota. It wasn't the Toyota Corolla. It was the Toyota, or the Honda, or was it the Honda? Because you watched that show. It was a Honda. It wasn't like a Honda Civic. It was like one of the Honda models that they use. Because I know for a fact that every show that they either use a Honda motorcycle for the
Wait,
Masked Rider shows.
Oh, are you sure? Are you sure that you're not? Are you sure you're not just describing You're Under Arrest? Because that's the only anime that I know of.
It's probably that one.
Yeah, You're Under Arrest has the Hande Today G,
Yeah.
which is a tiny as
you probably watched it
600cc
Being the
car.
Bandit. You probably watched Being the Bandit before.
No, I don't think I haven't. But I have seen the movie of You're Under Arrest, and so anyway, I was on episode 9, and it's already hype. It's already I like the show already. I mean, it's got over the top retarded action. The visual effects are from TV Asahi, or I could say Toei.
Mm-hmm.
The theme song is hype. And you got a creepy mascot as well. Basically, their enemies is it's a space bike gang.
Their enemy was a space Viking. That's a good one.
No. A space bike gang.
Oh, a space bike gang. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bososoku type of Japanese biker gang.
Ah. But instead, they're Vikings, but they're a bike gang.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty cool concept.
Yeah, I fucking like it. I'm already on episode 9.
Yeah, you got to show me that show sometimes.
Ah, sure.
Yeah, give me the hidden links. I'll probably look for them. Let's see, X-Force. I'm looking at Comics & Co. Let's see, Steven's Universe. They're talking about the one episode. The prophecy has come to pass. Now this meme is manifested on what should be like when a meme should be ending. Yeah, they're showing that image of Samurai Jack behind Aku's daughter, and their teeth are like both grinding. Like, it's funny. This is like the most funniest. Like, they're talking about the 5th season of Samurai Jack. Let's see. What are they gonna do? Kaijudo Fred. What's this one? Kaijudo Thread, because I'm bored and when I want to see the opinions of it. Yeah. Man, they really...
Wait.
I'm looking at Cartoons & Co., like the from 4chan.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I'm looking at it. It's like, you want to talk about Japanese fans of Co. thing? Let me see what they're talking about. Like, hold up. They're talking about the comics and everything, and cartoons.
I thought that whole Mary Boo shit was only a shit post that was done as a response to the Ken-sama copypasta.
Yeah, they probably did. Yeah, but I know that there's some fans that are pretty upset with that drama series of Archie. The darker side of Archie comics.
Didn't he die in that comic or something?
Archie?
Yeah.
In the dark one, in that little dark universe that they're doing. Actually, they're doing a live action TV series based on that comic book series.
They made a live action movie based on Archie, and how do you think it fared?
It didn't do so well. I know that for a fact.
Exactly.
I know, but they
I've
made
seen it when I was a kid.
But they did Riverdale.
It was legit some sort of it was legit more of a I wouldn't say like vaporwave bait regarding 1980s America.
Yep. Mostly 1950s, but they did do the Riverdale. I know they did the Archie movie. Yep, and it was a 90s comedy.
It wasn't exactly funny, so
It wasn't really funny, but they did it anyways.
then again, if I had to say awesomely bad enjoyable kids movie, well, I would have to recommend Dennis the Menace's movie.
Yeah.
The first Dennis the Menace movie.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
The Dennis the Menace movie was okay.
I would say partly because of Walter Matthau.
Yeah, he was a pretty good actor. Yeah, because there's like I like the cartoon. I like the cartoons. The early '80s cartoons was the one that I liked. The Dennis the Menace.
My God, before it became Univision, they actually used to play that show around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else? They also used to have I mean, half the shows were from Dick. The other shows were from the bad. In one case, the Badassarians. Like really old 1980s cartoons.
Yeah, they did. And their early 90s
I missed
cartoons.
That shit.
Even early 90s cartoons as well. It's like they even showed like the old the old TV shows from Dennis the Menace. It's like they did the comedy show of it. Like that thing was that Dennis the Menace was actually a really popular comic, like a comic series. It was like that turned into a live action TV show, then a cartoon series, then after that they made some more.
You want to know what's bad shit? That movie actually spawned a sequel.
Yep, it did.
Like years later. And I didn't know this until it was on TV.
Yep. Well, they did spawn sequels. They even spawned a bunch of other things. Like they tried their best to make it into other like genres and everything, but it was like another version of Home Alone, except he's Dennis the Menace. Then they did a Richie Rich movie. Remember Richie Rich? With Macaulay Culkin.
Oh dear God, that movie.
Yeah. I used to remember the cartoons. I used to remember, and then some guy showed like a TV show called The Pound Puppies, and I used to remember that show. That freaking show was just like all they do was sell like the little dolls of little doggy dolls that you buy and you could just collect them.
Yeah, all. that was Cartoon Network in a nutshell.
Yep.
Around the late 90s, they used to show TV shows like that. Not anymore.
Yeah, Pound Puppies used to be like one of the shows that educated kids about owning a dog and everything. And it's like it's sad that you see a new version of it, like the American Canadian animated TV series version, and you're just wishing that God, I wish that they brought out the old Pound Puppies, because that one was much better than the new one that they had. No offense to the guys in Canada who do those cartoon shows, but I kind of miss the old animators that did the old cartoons of Pound Puppies, because they were the bomb back then. Nothing personal against them. Whoops.
You know what's crazy? back in the day, they used to like show this animated cartoon thing. It was called Old Canada, and some were lame, but a few were actually very, very, very.
There's
I can say one of them one of them actually made me cry. It was so sad.
which one?
And I can't find it. That's the thing.
Old Canada. There's some
Oh
shows.
Canada.
Let me see.
Sorry.
Old Canada. Let me look it up.
Oh Canada was this half an hour block of independent animated cartoons from Canada.
Cartoon block.
No, it was not. It wasn't a cartoon block. It was a TV show called Oh Canada.
Yep,
that
you're
used
right.
to play
It does
on Cartoon
exist.
Network.
It does exist. Oh Canada's. It does exist. It's just a bunch of short cartoons. I think I do.
Yeah, that
remember
was
this.
the one.
Yeah, I think I remember this one. Here. Is this one of the ones that you were talking about? Let me show you, because I believe I found it for you.
If I don't remember what it is, well,
here it is.
This is it. Damn, 2002, dude. I remember when this show came out around the year 1998.
Yep, 1997 through 1990. Yep. You know, I used to remember Cartoon Network used to show some other stuff too.
Yeah, especially the old marathons, like Super Chunk, that kind of shit.
Super Chunk, I remember that one. They showed. I used to remember right now. They used to show Gem and the Holograms. They used to show that one. Let me see, Gekking. I know Gekking was another one that they did.
There were a couple I actually forgot. Damn, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of cartoons. There's like, I know that they showed Gekking on Cartoon Network. I know that they showed some original shows that they did back then. Like they used to have like an anime block, but that was only on midnights.
Was it let's see. Wait, this happened somewhere around they used to play it like after like 10:30, like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Yeah, they used to have like the old anime blocks on midnight because they had to do the midnight run, but they also showed movies on the midnight run too.
Funny thing though, I have never been able to see any of the animes back in that day.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, me either. Some of them I missed, some of them I wasn't able to watch. Let me see. Back in, I think it was when they did because originally the cartoon block for Toonami, originally they were known for Thundercats, Cartoon Roulette, Voltron, and the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. And their block kind of got popular because of Thundercats and Voltron.
Well, Voltron as well.
Yeah. And then in 1998, I remember they kind of got more popular. They decided to introduce Robotech, Beast Wars, Transformers, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, and Super Friends was another one, but it was okay. But it got popular because of Robotech and Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. Beast Wars, Transformers was another thing.
I never got interested. I actually never got interested in anime until like damn, until Voltron. But I used to be like a filthy casual.
Yeah. Let's
Anyway,
see. I know that Sci-Fi introduced Ronin Warriors back in the days, and when they used to have their own little cartoon block back in the early '90s, they used to introduce it back in
they
'95, around '95 or '90 or
wait.
'94.
Wait a minute. I remember there was I remember the one the anime block I remember was the one from like the early 2000s.
Yeah, and I used to remember watching
I
this
mean,
early in the mornings, Ronin Warriors, and then they introduced
I mean,
Reboot in the early '90s and Powerpuff Girls.
oh god, fucking Reboot. That show used to be on ABC on ABC Family here.
Yeah, back in the '90s.
Between that and Action Man and all these other shows that came from Mainframe and all these other Canadian firms.
Yep.
Fuck.
Man, that's been a long time because I used to remember those shows. It's like some of them I didn't get to watch. Some of them I did get to watch. Like I know they introduced that French animated series by Marvel. French animators that did the Fantastical World Greatest Heroes. Remember that one?
No, I don't think so.
That one didn't do so well. It canceled after 1 year. Then I remember they tried to go ahead.
Wasn't that that show that it's called like Miraculous or some shit?
Something like that.
Miraculous, the Ladybug Girl. It was like a Japanese / French / Chinese cartoon with CGI.
Yep.
Oh wait, that show actually got canceled. Damn.
Actually, did Ladybug? Actually, it's on Netflix now.
Huh.
It's actually on Netflix. They actually put it as an official Netflix series.
Ah, interesting. Although I never understood the premise of the show. It was supposed to be like a Chinese French girl who was supposed to fight crime. It was,
and it's
I found it pretty vanilla.
And it's actually on Netflix right now, and it's still continuing.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get it on Netflix. It's pretty much. My mom doesn't want to pay the $9 a month, but I let her use it. Yeah, well, she's family, so I allow it.
Yeah. Let's see. What's
Bionic? Let me see. I know that they did the Bionicle stuff. Ben 10. I know Ben 10 was a very popular one.
Oh God, the original Teen Titans back when they used to show on Toonami.
Yep.
That was very popular too.
Yep. And they got all the movies too. I used to remember they showed all the freaking like Sailor Moon movies. They did all the Spirited Away. They tried to do Stan Lee Presents. That didn't do so well. Summer Wars was another one. Teen Titans, Trouble in Tokyo, Batman versus Dracula, Trigun, Bad Loves Rumble. Actually, Trigun was actually okay.
There was another one I'd seen when they had the anime block on Sci-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually pretty obscure. It was called Here and There and Here or something like that. I know it was about
Here, Then, and Now.
Yeah, that was the one. It was dubbed by Central Park Media in New York. It had like half the voice actors from you find in 4Kids shows, you know.
Yeah.
I do remember that Lisa Ortiz played Lararu or something.
Yeah, Crispin Freeman, Dan Green. I'm looking at this right now. Like
Ed Lewis, the guy who played Tracy on Pokemon, played the main character.
Yeah.
And Rachel Lilly, she was like the chick with all the orphans. She was the mother of all the orphans.
It was actually an okay series too. Here, then, and now.
Yeah, it's
Now,
pretty.
okay, it's actually now, then, and here, there.
It was actually pretty decent for what it was. I mean, 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
it
tried.
was. It was not.
And I know Sci-Fi attempted some other shows too. They tried putting an anime block out there that they wanted to compete against Cartoon Network with. That didn't do so well for them. They tried. I know they tried Gurren Lagann. They tried. I know they tried.
Gurren Lagann is pretty. I used to watch Gurren Lagann through Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have internet at the time, so I was watching that and the infamous Dead Leaves movie on Sci-Fi as well. Dude, Dead Leaves was the shit. It was if you've never seen it.
And they also did the Gundam. They also did the Gundam Seed one too.
I think I remember they played one of the R movies in there.
Yeah. Yeah, they did some really good. They did some really good because they always did this Saturday morning sci-fi thing every since 1995. It's called the Saturday Anime on Sci-Fi Channel. It was the bomb back then, but it's a shame that they can't show those anymore. Because it was like one of the few, like they had like Project Echo, they had like Demon City Shinjuku, Appleseed. I know that they had. Let's see what else they had. Ninja. They had so many weird ones too. Like they tried to go with the Lotus War one too. Like I know they tried to show the full series of Lotus War. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah. Those are weird days. I'm sorry, man.
That's cool. I'm just checking out some stuff.
Yeah. Like we're just talking about some freaking stuff about cartoon blocks and shit. Man, those were the days. Those were the bomb. Like, what the fuck were we doing back then?
No, the insane shit that people used to play back in those days.
Yeah, and I used to remember Tenchi Muyo movies. They used to show those on the Sci-Fi block as well, including I know they did Ghost in the Shell as well. That's how
Okay, Christ. They used to play them on Cartoon Network.
Ghost in the Shell, and yep, they did.
Tenchi Muyo. The unfortunate thing is, Toonami had the censored version of Tenchi Muyo. So, and the same happened with Big O.
Mm-hmm.
You were watching that Outlaw Star, any of these other shows? Yeah, they were censored. So you would have to check the uncut and uncensored ones on the internet.
Let's see. The mayor. Okay, I'm looking at this right now. Okay, the newly appointed mayor. Let's see here. The mayor of Seattle has altered the rules and proposed a soda tax, which would fund education for minorities, including diet drinks, because the affluent white privilege tends to consume them more. The mayor, Ed Murray, socially liberal Seattle City, originally proposed a soda tax during his state and city address this February. Initially planned distributing sugary drinks would pay for 2 cents per ounce. And it would cover the sodas such as Coke, Pepsi, and this is happening in Seattle.
Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You know who else tried this shit? New York. New York tried the same old shit.
And what happened?
Oh god, they actually got through it. Unfortunately, they got through it. And but yeah, I find it bullshit that there's a soul attached. Especially in Seattle.
This is actually pretty interesting. It's like, hey, Mr. Mayor, $5 sodas, your pop tax sucks. But the mayor has updated his plan to staff, and mayor told him, why don't they just charge freaking cigarette tax instead of fucking goddamn? It's like soda. Why the fuck? Okay, Murray changed the bill, lowering the levy to 1.75 cents per ounce, including diet drinks, because they are because by flavored affluent white city residents, despite the fact that most of the diet drinks have no calories and therefore don't contribute to obesity. According to the reason, the tax diet drinks have become an issue of equality to the mayor because they have more likely to be consumed by upper and middle class white people and therefore must be taxed. The way that to fight white privilege is to neutralize racism. I don't know how people would vote for this guy and expect everyone to do this. In Seattle, he's charging $1.75 tax on soda. That's sad.
What's the how much again?
$1.75 tax on soda because of white privilege. That's how stupid.
Boy.
I swear, these people and their conspiracy theories, that's hilarious. It's exactly what people are saying and going to happen. Politicians would use SJW nonsense to help them fuck over the population. Murray changed the bill, okay? This is the most social justice thing that happened in a while. It monkeys the free choice of consumers. It explicitly racist and it sacrifices efficiency for identity. Plus, it didn't actually help minorities. If he really gave a shit, he would have eliminated the tax on soda. Just made surgery drinks. Right, that Gatorade, the bottled fruit juices, bottled cold teas, full of sugar. Sodas aren't even the worst offenders, depending on
No.
which soda.
Energy drinks are possibly the worst offenders, and not because of the sugar, because of that caffeine.
Yeah,
the insane amounts of caffeine.
I do agree with you that on that point because that seems like it's a little bit extreme on this guy's end of what he's trying to do, trying to combat racism and white privilege.
With a soda tax.
Yeah, with a soda tax, like he could have just charged an extra dollar on cigarettes, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Shows where the priorities are.
Yeah, because if he would have charged a tax on like cigarettes, that would have cut down on cigarettes if they're trying to go after cigarettes. But instead, he went after sugary drinks because that causes obesity and thus white privilege. And I'm like, oh well.
You know what's funny? These are the same people who advocate for fucking body positivity.
Yep.
I don't. Fuck. Okay, so basically, I'm calculating how much this would happen, hypothetically speaking, if Puerto Rico had a soda tax of their own. So $1.75, right? Okay, we add that. For example, a can of Pepsi or Coke would be 85 cents. Uh,
see.
80, 85 cents.
Mm-hmm. And they're just charging for soda, which is stupid. It's like
times $1.75. $2.60.
Yep.
So basically, if you were to buy a can of soda, it would be worth as much as a Monster energy drink.
Yep.
Go ahead, man.
Yep. What are your thoughts on Colbert firing Colbert off his show when he said that stupid joke about Trump?
I'm gonna be frank here. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is subject to satire.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders. As much as I disagree with Stephen Colbert because he's such a smug asshole, I can't help but defend him on this.
I kind of agree with you on that one because I don't want to see him fired off of his job because everyone's advocating for, like, the right has been advocating for free speech. And it's like the left is trying to censor it because they disagree with Colbert making an offensive gay joke, I don't really consider it really a bad joke either. It's I just consider it stupid because there's just no point in insulting Trump. Even though
Yeah,
I don't like Trump. I don't like Trump either, but come on, man. I don't think you deserve to be fired because you said a stupid opinion.
How's it going?
How's it going, man? Welcome, welcome.
Oh, just talking shit.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Colbert getting attacked online for his opinion about Trump?
I think it's petty and pathetic.
I kind of agree.
Both sides
I'll be honest. In both sides, I could say this, Steven, maybe you should do jokes that aren't related to political satire for once, you know? In the case of Mr. President Trump, sir, with all respect, grow a thick skin.
Yeah. Well, Trump didn't really care about it. It's just some people. It's just some people got pissed off because he said something about Putin was blowing Trump off.
Oh yeah, the joke was basically that Putin's mouth was Donald Trump's penis hole.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase myself. Some of you Trump fans, please draw a thicker skin.
Yeah.
Donald, he's okay. I'll be honest here. He's okay. I don't mind him.
Yeah, I don't mind him, but go ahead.
But you know, some of his fans are going full potato the same way people go full potato when someone jokes about Bernie or Hillary or Gary Johnson or Jill Stein or anyone else that is regarding politics. Yeah. It's satire, really. This is the Sweet Park incident all over again.
That I could agree with because
I mean, you guys remember when Stephen Colbert did a joke about Asian people and that Korean chick got freaked the fuck out all over it?
Yeah.
To the point that she made that campaign.
Yeah, to fire Colbert about it's like a lot of people defended him for that because they understand that it was all a joke. And it shouldn't be taken seriously. But unfortunately,
these guys are. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
it's just that some people don't realize, he may not like what we represent, but he has the right to say what he has to say. It's free speech under the law, not under the law, but under the Constitution of America. And the problem is, it may be unpopular opinion, and I'm going to say this as in my own unpopular opinion. He has the right to say it, even if you don't like it. Sure, it doesn't excuse him under the consequences of his opinion to get away with it, but unfortunately, he has the right to say it. I don't like what he has to say about it, but I'll defend it because he has the right to say that.
We're gonna defend his right to freedom of speech to the death. That's how it goes.
Even though I disagree with him, but I'm going to defend it because he has the right to say it. And
exactly.
I'm not trying to go after him because of it. I don't really give a shit. I don't watch his show. You don't have to watch his show. If you feel that he should be fired, then don't watch his show. You don't need to say, "Oh, I think he deserves to be fired." Well, there's another way to do it. You don't have to watch his show. If you feel that his opinion is very bad, then don't watch his show at all. Bye-bye. That's how you heard him.
Most people don't do that.
Yeah, and I'm not advocating to get him fired. I'm advocating that if you don't like his opinion, then don't watch it. Don't listen to it. Just move on. I'm sure other people appreciate that. You don't have to go start a hashtag saying, "Oh, we should fire him." The simple way of doing it is not to watch his show. Because I'm not advocating to fire him. He can run his own show however he feels. Heck, a lot of people don't like to watch my shit. But hey, people don't think it's funny. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. It's boring. But I do it anyways because it's fun to me.
Oh God, check the shit out.
Yep. Let me see. Oh yeah, Varric. Let me see how Varric's up to. Hey Varric, how's it going? I'll go ahead and invite him in. See how he.
Right back.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and invite people in. And see if they want to jump in and try to, pull a 4chan on me. Yeah, fire JT. Thank you. Get me off YouTube. Yes, get me off YouTube because I said the one thing. I'm terrible. My HD is okay. Your hard drive is crashing. Trying to fix it. Okay. If you can't fix it, you can always replace it. But you might as well just clone the hard drive. See if that works. So, what are your thoughts on Anne Frank DLC? Oh, man. Leon left. That sucks. Oh, boy. Leon. Why did you have to leave? Why did you have to leave? Hey, Leon. Why did you leave the show? That was... Oh, well, I can understand. let's see what they're up to right now, because a lot of people are talking about that whole situation with. I can't believe they did that. The Doctor Who anime. I can't believe it. Star Wars TIE Fighter short film. War games. Let's see. Well, right now I'm just talking about some things anyways. While they're up and away, I'm just going to go ahead and do some stuff. You can get your YouTube off YouTube. Nobody would notice. Try fixing that. Yeah, they could. But I know that... Here's the thing. I have really unpopular opinions. And I know that most people may not like what I have to say about Colbert. I don't think he deserves to be canceled. As much as most people could do, the only thing they could do is not watch his show. If they feel that his content was very offensive, then don't watch it. I don't need to tell them. You don't need like a PhD to tell people that. And the fact is, you know, I don't really think he deserves to get fired. To be honest with you, because I'm not advocating for him to get fired. I'm advocating for him, you know, for him to say what he has to say. It's all because I understand it's comedy. You just don't take it seriously. It's just meant to be funny. Oh, aside from Call of Duty, yes, I think that, yes, Anne Frank should be in a DLC. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. What if all the stuff that she wrote in her book was all lies? What if she picked up a pen and stabbed a Nazi? Yeah, that's what I think, Varric. That's what I think of it. What if Anne Frank became her own heroine in Call of Duty World War II? Because it seems like Polygon would probably be making that story, making it a clickbait type of thing. What if Anne Frank actually did picked up her pen and stab a Nazi? What if all the stuff she wrote in her diary was all lies? Then it would be an excuse to Polygon to write an article about this. Think about it for a moment. Think about it. Anne Frank in her own Call of Duty game, where she picks up a pen and backstabs a Nazi, then picks up the gun and shoots all the Nazis down, mowing them down. Think about it. Call of Duty, Anne Frank. Because here's the problem. Here's the issue that I had with Kotaku's writer. Let me see if I can find it. Kotaku Jason Schaefer. Because the thing about him, he wrote an article about the whole situation with having the lack of diversity in that whole thing. But Jason needs to understand that the developers of the game were more focused on the Big Red One storyline and other outfits that were fighting in World War II. And Jason could have made that argument about the French resistance fighters having women in combat roles back then, but the problem was he failed to mention that because he wasn't well informed about the history of World War II. He basically wanted to start controversy about it. And I was just making a joke about it because I heard someone bring up Anne Frank, and I was just like, you know what? I should just make that into a joke because you know what? What the hell? So Jason really wants to rewrite history where Anne Frank is the heroine of Call of Duty World War II, where she goes to Auschwitz to liberate her people as a 13-year-old girl who's good at one thing: killing Nazis with an ink pen. And Jason would support that idea for one reason. Because all she wrote in her diary was all lies.
Wait. You mean to tell me that Jason Schreier from Kotaku was the guy responsible for this shit?
Yeah, trying to start a diversity thing. That's pretty much what was going on. Because Jason Schaefer kind of was like bullying some guy on Twitter, trying to advocate for diversity in Call of Duty World War II. Because you have to realize something, because I looked at the patch. If you looked at the trailer, you notice that they had a patch called the Red One, which is the Big Red One group that which was a tank battalion group that managed to march all the way into Berlin. And historically, they were well known to combat the Germans. And the funny thing about it is that they try to do that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Because if Jason Schaefer wants to start this bullshit, we might as well just put Anne Frank in the front lines, taking out Nazis left and right, as a 13-year-old girl armed with an ink pen, a box of chocolates, and a fucking and a freaking knife, and a couple of guns. Yeah, because Jason doesn't realize what's going on. Because the thing is, Jason Schaefer has to realize something, that they're trying to be legitimate about the story and the history wise about Call of Duty World War II, but the problem is he's trying to insert diversity and all this other stuff into the whole thing, and it's getting kind of messy for Activision to actually try to get the PR to convince people, hey, we're trying to make this game as historically accurate as possible, and yet you have these people outside criticizing it for stupid reasons, trying to insert diversity into the whole thing. Nothing wrong with that, but they also have to understand that they could make the argument inserting history, facts about history, that they had this battalion, like they had the Japanese. I know that the Japanese, they had a Japanese battalion that it was. Let me see if I can look them up, because I remember watching a movie about them.
You know what? I don't think we're gonna be stopping at Anne Frank.
Yeah.
Let's go with shit like how about a DLC on Battlefield 1 with the suffragettes?
The suffragettes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like first wave feminists in a battalion. Also Rosa Parks around the 1960s. Knifing some the bus driver who told it to go to the back. and go on a rampage. Hell,
Okay.
hell.
The 40. Okay, I found out what they're called. The 44th Infantry Regiment of the United States. They were mostly Japanese American soldiers. They were from Hawaii. They could have brought up those. They could have brought up them. Because I know for a fact that they were from because most of the families were mainland Japanese Americans that were confined in internment camps in the United States interior beginning in 1944. The regiment fought primarily in Europe during World War II, in particular Italy and southern France and Germany. The 42nd Regiment was most decorated for unit size, length of service. They could have brought this up, but they didn't. Like, there is so much history that they could have done research on, but Jim Schaefer did not research very well on his argument.
You know, there is something else.
Mm-hmm.
A DLC expansion pack in another 1960s Call of Duty game with Martin Luther King. Only Martin Luther King was a member of the Black Panthers.
Yep. There's also they could have brought up the 70 they could have brought up the 758 tank battalion in the United States that was a African American filled with African American soldiers.
Oh, dude! Speaking of, did you hear about how they complained about the fact that there weren't any trans men in the World War II Call of Duty game?
They found one in World War I. Yeah, they found one.
Like, seriously, a transgender soldier.
Yeah.
In World War II.
Yeah. Meet our first trans soldier in the U.S. military. They're trying.
I don't think they're trying enough. I mean, Activision should be making a Call of Duty game, or no, not Activision. You know that Far Cry Primal game? Let's do a sequel, but it's in ancient Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Only with a little twist. That's right! That's right! That's right! We're gonna have fucking levitating pyramids. It's gonna be called Kings. The game.
Okay, let me see. The 73rd Regiment. Let's see what they are. The 473rd Infantry Regiment, United States, served as an Italian front during World War II. Created in January.
Look for the Puerto Rican battalion as well.
I know that they served in Task Force 45. Had been part of Task Force 55.
I mean, okay. I know people who served in World War II.
Yep. I know someone who served in the Korean War.
Oh yeah, the Buccaneers. Why were those guys on the new Call of Duty game? Otherwise, they should have been there.
They should have been, but it's like They're not. They're not gonna mention them. They don't even know.
Yeah, you're right.
They're never, because you know how Kotaku is. They are so freaking behind on history.
Yeah, apparently these guys are still on the 1960s.
Yeah. WW2. Let's see. Let's see. Participated in World War II. Let's see. Which one were they in? Yeah, because I know one person was in World War II. He was in the Marines. We called him Machuca.
Tattooed teenager alien fighters from Beverly Hills. What the fuck?
Okay, let's see. Headquarters, compost wing, bombardment group, the bombardment squadron. Okay, bombardment squadron. Let's see where are they? They're the Navy, United States Air Force. Women in the military. Yeah, WAC unit. The Women Army Corps, WAC unit. Puerto Rican commanders. The USN. They're part of the naval force.
Oh, fucking course. You know who owns Univision?
Woohoo.
Hayam Saban.
I am Saban. Yeah, Saban.
Holy shit. This is fucked.
Yeah, and you wonder why they keep showing Power Rangers.
They never show Power Rangers here. Are you kidding me? I mean, broadcasting rights wise, they used to be it used to be Telemundo who used to show them.
Now Univision. Let's see. The European, yeah. Let's see. Infantry. The 65th Infantry Regiment. The 65th Infantry Regiment, nicknamed the Buccaneers from their original Taino name of the island. Bariquen is the Puerto Rican regiment of the United States Army. The regiment is a motto is honor in fidelis. Latin honor is fidelity. Armor appointment created. Yeah. Okay. The 65th Regiment participated in World War I, World War II, and Korean War. In what was known in the United States as the War on Terror in April 2016, the infantry was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. Puerto Ricans have participated in many military conflicts which the United States has been involved. For example, participated in the American Revolution when volunteers from Puerto Rico, Cuba, and Mexico fought the British in 1779 under the command of General Arnado de Guevara. Okay, yeah, they did. Yeah. They did. Okay, it's the 65th Infantry Division. Training program, okay, Pano protecting the Pacific. Yeah, they sent my mom there too back in the 80s. Also served in Casablanca after the naval battle of Casablanca. Underwent amphibious training, enabled battalion. Okay. Wow, they really sent them some training. In December of 1944, the 3rd Battalion faced a German 34th Infantry Division and the 155th Grenadier Regiment. They suffered a total of 47 battle casualties, but the first 2 Puerto Ricans to be killed in action, the 65th Infantry Private Sergio Sanchez and Sergeant Angel Martinez from the town of Sabla Grande. Upon arriving the freezing isolated outposts of the Maritime Alps, the unit's morale dropped in several, but in apparent effort to boost the unit's morale, the new commander of West Pointer killed and several others wounded, forcing the patrol to abandon the colonel's body. On March 18, 1947, the regiment was sent to the district of Mayhem, Germany, assigned to military government activities, anti-sabotage, and security missions. In all, 65 participated in campaigns in Romanarno, Rhineland, Esnar, Central Europe. In October 1945, the regiment sailed from France, arriving at Puerto Rico on November 9th, 1945. So they technically did do some, they did have combat, but they did suffer some minor casualties.
Sarah Whitney is. Oh,
Yeah. So
Sarah?
yeah. Colonel George. Yeah, so they pretty much rumors swirled the regiment would be sent to live combat, while officers have already been moved in acting observers. In 1944, the 65th Regiment landed in France. The regiment then moved into Perla-Cave, Maritime Alps, where they entered into action December 1944, the first time Puerto Rico unit saw an action in Europe. The first offensive attack came following the day in response to the enemy fire, with Colonel allowing oh boy. The first casualty lost in the regiment is Sergeant Angel Martinez and Sergio Sanchez. In total, the border between France and Italy, the battalion lost 47 men, including its commander, Colonel George Ford. Wow. That's sad. Yeah, history kind of blew its. Yeah. Kotaku. Yeah, they kind of wrote that whole situation. Yes, Kotaku should, if they really want to bring diversity into the game, we might as well just put Anne Frank into Call of Duty. Like, I'm just looking at this. I'm just looking at this stuff right now because we're like looking at some of the stuff that happened in history.
Summer loving, happy so bad. Summer loving, he's squeezing, he's on the ass.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much military history right there.
That's the thing. I actually had an uncle who used to be a fighter pilot back in the Korean War.
Yeah.
He used to be a cop until he caught this debilitating disease, and for the last 10 years, he ended up in a bed.
Mm-hmm. He couldn't walk anymore.
No, he couldn't even talk either. The stroke was. I think he either had a stroke or a debilitating disease because it was so bad that it fucked up his brain.
That sucks.
Yeah. Although, here's the thing. He always used to tell war stories from back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. I'm sorry to interrupt your story. Please continue.
Mm-hmm.
You sound a muffled, dude.
Yeah, a little bit muffled, but we'll probably fix it.
No, I'm sorry. I was trying to be quiet because I didn't want to interrupt this story about his uncle.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. You got family. I can understand. I forgot. So, Varric, what are you? Uh, what are your thoughts on that whole situation with Kotaku trying to, because I know Jim Schafer tried, James tried to advocate for diversity, and and most people were thought I was crazy when I put Anne Frank in the picture.
I don't think you're crazy. Personally, this is the first time hearing about it. So
Yeah, because what happened was Jason from Kotaku, Jason Schafer, whatever his name is, he kind
Jason
of
Shithead.
he kind of went off on somebody on Twitter, and they had an argument over the whole issue, because I know that Ian Miles Chong wrote an article about it, because this was on Heat Streak a while back. Jason Saber is a bully. He doesn't really know when to shut up. Among many instances of controversy, the Kotaku writer raised it a public error in 2013 when he insulted George Camilleri, the artist of Dragon Crown, by saying that he must be a 13-year-old because he liked.
You must be a 13-year-old boy. You're drawing women with big boobies, and I don't like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Traffic's bad now. The future's
pretty much.
Well, they need to understand that different artists have different styles, and not every style is going to be something that is pleasing to the palate. It's fair to criticize it, but it's not fair to make your opinion fact. If they want their opinion, and that's why I keep highlighting that word, to be that they are not comfortable with the way the characters are drawn, so be it. They can have that. It's not a fact that everybody is uncomfortable with the way the characters are created.
True.
Some people enjoy it. Some people enjoy the level of ridiculousness that goes into them, or even the level of detail. I mean, have you seen the Barbarian gal?
Yeah.
I mean, she's got muscles on muscles on muscles. And by the way, if you don't play Dwarf on Dragon's Crown, you're a scrub.
I need to buy that copy of their game. I never got the chance to play Dragon's Crown, to be honest with you.
Do you like the old schoolish kind of
arcade
2D,
yeah,
like 2.5D side-scrolling beat-em-ups?
Yeah, I saw the.
Then you'll have a fucking blast.
Because I used to remember Dungeons and Dragons, the arcade game that they used to have. I used to play that.
Oh God, that was a Capcom abortion.
Yeah.
I played way too many quarters into that before I said nope. I can't fucking deal with this shit.
Well, they have it on PC now. Thank goodness.
Well, I know they also have it on emulators if you use MAME, but
yeah.
Hey, I'm not advocating for the illegal use of copyrighted software.
Fair enough.
But
yeah,
I mean, I think I paid them enough quarters to own the license at least.
Yeah, because I had to bring that up, and it's like most of the stuff that, because it seems like James Schafer from Kotaku was kind of, I don't know, he's kind of nuts.
You got to understand something, JT. These guys, they don't really care about your opinion. They don't really care about getting facts straight. Most of them, they're in it to cause a sensation. They want to cause a sensation to get other people to go and look into what they're doing. They want people to click so they can get that traffic, so they can drive revenue. Without the revenue, without the traffic, they have nothing.
That's true. And I was just making a sensational, like, because when I said clickbait on this title, I meant clickbait. You don't have to take it seriously. That's what I meant.
I know. So it's tongue in cheek. Yeah, that's fine. If you want to say something tongue in cheek, that's a good way to go about it.
Yeah, because
there are a lot of people who take it way too seriously. They're like,
I know.
"Well, they said this."
I know.
And
Carl kind of was like, "No, I'm sorry, JT. I'm not coming on your stream because you have Anne Frank on there." And I'm like, "It's just a joke."
Nobody can take a joke anymore.
I know. and you know, Norwegian guy. I wanted Norwegian guy on here, but he was like, "No, thanks, JT. I'm not gonna put myself in there with Anne Frank's face on there."
Europeans, many of the European countries have a bigger problem dancing around that issue than someone like me stateside can do. Like, I can put up like probably really bad pictures of Hitler or whatever.
Yeah.
And nobody will blink an eye.
Well,
but if they get caught doing shit like that and it gets traced back to them, they can face fines.
I actually did that. I actually had Hitler next to a spaceship over that whole situation with Berkeley, UC Berkeley controversy, where they kind of accused everybody of being a Nazi for supporting Milo. And it's like, I just basically, because they were like conspiracy theorists accusing everybody of being a Nazi.
Do, 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 do. I want to believe.
Yeah. Yeah, because I did that as a joke. And I did like a bunch of other clickbait titles, like
I saw some of them.
Yeah, some of them were kind of funny, but some of them were just meant to be a joke. Like, I for every title, I should put clickbait at the end so that people could say that this is not really. So, it's like, I do agree with your point on this whole situation with Jason Schreier from Kotaku, because the thing is, I'm just doing my own version of it, like just mocking him over the whole fact, because the truth is, you know, I can understand he wants to advocate for diversity just because it's all in his agenda, but he needs to realize something else, that they're more focused on doing their own storyline for Call of Duty.
Well, all right, I'm gonna point something else to you out.
Mm-hmm.
And well, a lot of these guys, like, look at how they do reviews for games.
Yeah.
Like, they spend a fuckload of time making reviews that are fairly laughable.
Yeah.
Have this kind of diversity in it. It had too much hip sway, even though the characters were modeled after mocap. You know, stupid things.
Yeah.
And then they can give the game whatever kind of rating or whatever kind of recommendation. And you don't have any real technical argument about what's wrong with the game, what's right with the game, where its weaknesses, where its strengths. And one of the reasons that you can point to why they put out such reviews that could be easily dismissed, where nobody's going to make it serious, is because should they question the companies that advertise with them, and this is kind of like a pre-Gamergate deal, I don't know if you remember, about Kane and Lynch Dog Days.
Yeah, I remember that one. I heard about it.
It did not get a good review.
It did,
and the reviewer got shit-canned.
Yeah, because he shitted on the game while it was advertised on their website.
But something like that should be his duty as a reviewer. That's something he shouldn't be penalized for. Like, these guys, like, they can't criticize the people that pay their bills. That's kind of why they write reviews that are sort of laughable, because they need that game advertising. They have to be attached. to all that. If they don't have that attachment to that, they can't run their sites. They're not making money.
Yeah,
The thing is, those people have no idea what being objective is. That's the sad truth.
Yeah, it's like the whole Mass Effect review. Like, people had a hard time trying to play that game where there was a bunch of glitches. And I read somewhere where a guy claimed that he made a video, and he claims that everybody out there was out to threaten to rape the
Rape the rabbit.
This guy,
rape the rabbit.
No, this guy thinks that someone's going to rape BioWare employees based on the fact some 13-year-old was saying stupid shit on the comments section. And this guy posted this on Tumblr.
Well, you look at guys like Stim Jerling.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't.
Stim Jerling.
I'm saying it like that on purpose. I'm trying to do you a favor here.
Thank you.
But I personally I can't stand them. But they are not getting paid by some game companies. So when a big game company puts out a game, they get the review code. They can try to be as honest as possible.
Yeah.
But that's not all of them. Some of them have an issue to where they're worried about getting review embargoed or cut out of reviews.
Yeah.
So they still end up doing the same thing. They still keep sucking the teat of the hype machine because they want to make sure they don't miss out on the next Final Fantasy franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know that.
And
I know one reviewer, for example, a while back, and I read his review on Assassin's Creed, and that's Anthony Birch.
Of course, we gotta talk about the Cuckle King.
Yeah, the Cuckle King. Yeah,
She took my Wii.
He took. Yes, he took his Wii away, and he became.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and he, of course, you know, he
fuck.
wrote. I read his review about Assassin's Creed, the first game. He didn't like it. He felt the game did have bugs, and I can honestly say yes, it did. But
I'm just sitting here and I'm looking at his work. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck happened to him. Like somewhere between Saints Row 3 and Borderlands, the pre-sequel, his shit got all fucked up.
Yeah.
Like up until that time, like his writing was good. He was good at creating. I'll give him credit. He actually could write.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that at one point Anthony Birch wasn't a pathetic piece of shit?
He wasn't back then.
He wasn't.
He wasn't.
I mean, he did a lot of writing for Saints Row 3. And Saints Row 3 is to this day a great game. It's a lot of fun.
It is. I played it.
I had the complete edition. It's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, like it stood up to Grand Theft Auto for a long time.
He did some really good stories. It's just the thing about him now is like ever since he started to get worse ever since this whole Gamergate thing happened.
I don't even know if it has something to do with Gamergate. It probably is. He got paused.
Yeah.
It
he was drinking
really
too much of the
Gamergate.
progressive Kool-Aid.
It wasn't really Gamergate as much as the fact that he got cut by his wife.
Yeah, and a lot of people.
And she took his Wii.
Yeah, he took his Wii. Yep, and that's the thing about. That's the thing about him is that he used to make some interesting, like he was brutally honest about his review on Assassin's Creed, which was fair enough. He gave it a 7. And after reading that whole thing, you know, he kind of pointed out the issues he had with it. And it was like that's fair enough and everything. And it's like back then he was a douchebag, still a douchebag to this day, but he's still.
Yeah, but at that point, he didn't let his political ideologies shape his ability to craft a story.
True.
I mean, look at what he did for Borderlands 1 and 2. Great games.
Yep.
Phenomenal.
And then someone brought up his.
I mean,
then brought up the whole issue with his voice actor's sister doing a black voice.
I wouldn't really call it a black voice. If we're talking about the one character, the one that it's like a little girl.
Yeah.
It's kind of she talks.
Oh, Tiny Tina.
She talks. Yeah, Tiny Tina. She talks like cuck. I mean, like like urban.
Like urban.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it a black voice. She's kind of like
ghetto.
an urban stereotype.
Urban ghetto stereotype.
Exactly.
Basically, she talks in jive turkey.
Yeah, jive turkey.
Pretty much.
Jive turkey language, which a lot of people, and there was a lot of good storylines, but it's like when you introduce her, I thought it was just hilarious. It's just the thing about her is that when they try to introduce her, and I understand that his sister played the voice of her. It's kind of weird how now, because a lot of people pointed out about her is that she's pretty much a normal person. It's a shame that her talents being
Who, Ashley?
Yeah.
I might have to disagree on that, but
her talents as a comedy.
I'm just trying to figure out why they tapped her to do the English VA for Persona Dancing All Night.
I don't know why either.
Because that was total mismatch.
Yeah, it is a total mismatch.
Fucking made the game undesirable by any means.
I know a guy who constantly spams Persona 5 shit, and honestly, no.
Well, no, it's not Persona. It's not Persona 5. It's, I think, what is it? The Persona 4 Dance All Night.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was their rhythm game. That's when they had her voice somebody that was being previously done by another VA.
Let's see. Hey Ash, what you playing? That's the other one that he did.
Hey Ash, what you playing?
And that's on YouTube. Let's see.
They actually had some skins for Saints Row 3 for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that was a DLC package.
Yeah, and of course now he did Jump Rocket the show for a while, and that right now he hasn't done anything lately.
Wait, did you say Rocket Jump?
Yeah.
Okay, because for a moment there it sounded like you said Jump Rocket.
Okay, Rocket Jump. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. He did that. He did Bored with Life TV series with Anthony 2013. 8-Bit Strange, Final Bit Short. Okay, so he did Tales from the Borderland Tall Tales games. He did the video game writing. He did the writing for that. Borderlands 2.
Well, yeah, that's when he went from...
Yeah, and Borderlands the PC.
See, he ruined a great character.
Yeah.
Like, you know who... Torg.
Yeah.
You know Torg, right?
Yeah.
Torg from 2 was awesome.
Yeah.
Like the way they had his whole arena and everything and his expansion was great. And then for some fucking reason, in the pre-sequel, they turned him into something terrible.
They turned him into a joke.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why he did that. But then again, after 2012 to 2014.
Oh, you know why he did it. Don't play coy.
Yes, because of
You're terrible playing coy.
Yes, I understand. I get it. It was it was Gamergate's fault. That's joking. It was.
Yes, let's go get the time machine fired up, boys.
Yeah.
We need to have a DeLorean.
Yeah.
About 1.21 megawatts.
I don't know.
Nigga, what?
That's right.
That's right. Those
1.21 megawatts, man.
Those megawatts.
I think I know who can hook me up. Rick Sanchez.
Rick Sanchez. No. Last time I saw.
Bubble up, dub dub, bitches.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so Ash has not been doing much. Anthony has not been doing much since 2015. It looks like.
Probably not.
Yeah, he hasn't been writing for a while.
I know Ashley is a voice actress for Funimation.
Well, he didn't just write JT. He had a short stint as a woman's lingerie model.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I remember that.
I actually feel kind of sorry for the guy because not only did he get cut by his wife, he actually got cut by his gay lover as well.
Yep.
He didn't want to be gay. Like the whole thing after it was he tried it because his wife suggested it, and then he hated it.
Yeah.
He hated it with everything, but he didn't want to contradict his wife.
Yep.
Which I
Was his
Yeah,
wife
and
like
the whole joke about him with that what happened in the elevator between Jim Sterling and him was totally not gay.
Oh fuck! You mentioned it. No. You mean Sim Jerling?
Yeah, Sim Jerling, as in
Stim Jerling.
as in Seaman Yes, what happened to him behind.
Yeah, we're trying to avoid trouble here.
Yes, we're trying to avoid trouble. Where the rumor with him in the elevator, because there was so many joke rumors about him with Anthony and him in the elevator.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there was a joke that
Oh my
someone did on
gosh.
Twitter talking about him and Jim Sterling behind in an elevator together.
Love in an elevator.
Yeah. Yeah, that song. Living and loving in the elevator. Going down. I said, yeah. Yeah, that old thing.
They weren't in the elevator with Rebecca Watson, were they?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, that whole joke about there's also that whole conspiracy behind her too. There's like people talking about the elevator thing.
Elevator gate. Gamer
Yeah.
gate. Gates for days.
Would you rather have cancer or AIDS? Be honest.
Okay.
No, I don't want feminism, and no, I don't want social justice. So neither.
That's perfect. Honestly, I'd rather have chlamydia.
Yeah.
Well, that's treatable.
It burns when I pee.
Okay, the charmer held like mad, giant, arrogant police. Okay, fucking.
You know what, Google, you really got to fix this format. Like, I cannot read the external chat,
Yeah.
especially on mobile. This is terrible.
Yeah. This
JT, you want to go over external chat for us real quick? Was anything new posted?
Yeah, nothing really new in the chat room.
Okay.
It's just.
Did you put this in your usual places? The short
archive.
live stream, I mean.
Yeah, the archive. It's mostly on OBS.
No, I meant the. I'm sorry, I meant the like GGP and stuff like that. Did you drop a link in there?
I didn't. I tried to, but
Okay.
they didn't want to. Link. Let me go ahead and let me link it into the Mass Effect thing or the Gamergate.
You should be able to. Oh, you're thinking of Discord. I'm thinking of Skype.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I know that a lot of people are just getting pissed because a lot of people are probably like creeped out about the Anne Frank thing.
Honestly, it's lost its shock value. If you wanted to get somebody with a strong opinion on it out here, I'd recommend trying to get Xenomancer.
Xeno, yeah, Xeno kind of. He's probably
He won't
probably
shy
good.
away. He'll come in here and he'll tell you how he feels.
Yeah. Clorox drink. That's funny.
This is an extreme thirst.
Yep. Extreme thirst for Clorox bleach. Buy it now for only 50 cents a.
I feel the need for bleach.
Bleach.
Do you, I haven't been on too many of these, and I wanted to ask, do you cover politics outside of video games much?
Yeah, we did. We covered the whole French election situation. When
Vive la France!
yeah, it turns
You know,
out
and I'm going to
Le Pen
be
lost.
straightforward here. Okay, so the conservative candidate didn't win. They don't deserve fucking attacks from terrorists. Nobody really deserves that. That's a shitty thing to say.
Yeah. Yeah, but we found something interesting. Emmanuel Macron married a 64-year-old woman who happened to be.
So was she robbing the cradle, or was
Yes.
he robbing the grave?
He was. let's just say she was the drama teacher.
What I told JT was the fact that Macron has a brandy fetish.
Yeah, he's 39 and she's 64.
Granny panties, you can wear them as a
And-
blanket.
And it turns out, they met in high school. She was the drama teacher, he was a student. And
It's so wrinkly and gray. There's extra folds.
Yeah.
I like my pussy like I like my wine, aged and moldy.
Yeah, so New York Times did an article about it too. Like they did like an article about his wife. And
How do you say his name? Macron or Macron?
Macron. I don't know how they do it in France though.
Merci, mes amis.
Yeah, he's saying merci, mes amis.
How do they do it in France? Doggy style, I'd imagine.
Probably.
Bend over and take it.
Yeah, Le Pen lost like she lost about she had like 34.2% of the vote.
Man, how dare those misogynists not vote for a woman in the current year?
I guess they didn't.
Yeah. Low energy.
Well, let's see here. Former civil servant, investment banker. He studied philosophy at Paris Natural University. Completed his master's in public relations, I think.
I heard there's actually a lot in common between Macron and Trump.
Yeah.
Like they both share similar backgrounds of being within the fiscally elite.
Yeah. Well, there was also that whole situation where there were the email leaks about Macron.
Leaks like a 65-year-old drama teacher's vagina. Yeah, but the funny thing is they talked about like the media was like talking about the love story between him and his wife, and it's just like like this whole election of him. I did it, mommy. I did it.
I did it. I am a president.
Yes, I did it. Now suck it.
Oh, mommy, the other woman, she was not as pretty as you were.
Yeah, Brigitte Macron. That's what her name is. Yes.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, you gotta look at his wife though.
Do I have to?
If you want to, if you wish to.
I don't know. I've got about 197 updates to complete on this Windows 7 install, so it's going to be a while.
Okay. Oh, so you have Windows 7, so you're updating it.
Yeah, oh, my hard drive is Kaputski.
Okay,
Yeah.
Brigitte Macron.
Jeep Macron.
Gesundheit.
Yep.
No. At this point, I would rather just say cabron.
Jeep Macron.
Okay, so Brigitte Macron doesn't look past her 50s by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Second picture on Google. Holy fucking shit.
Is it as shocking as the picture of Hillary without makeup?
Well, you know that scene in Indiana Jones when they open up the Ark of the Covenant? It's kind of like that.
Face melter.
She looks like Bernie Ecclestone from FIA, from the FIA.
No, she looks like Bernie Sanders.
Holy shit! Rule 63, Bernie Sanders. Go there. Feel the boing, Goyam. Feel the boing.
Yeah, and I looked at Bridget Macron, and like the story behind her was kind of like they met in high school.
They met in grade school.
Yeah,
She was driving her Camaro past the yard.
pretty
It's
much.
dude, it's France. So I would say she was driving, let's say, an Alpine A110 or something. Or
Oh
a
wait, I'm
Renault
sorry.
CL56.
Yeah, it's France. She was driving a Fiat.
Acceptable. Nah, she was driving she was probably driving something like a Volvo with a V6 engine by Renault.
No. Volvos are hipster magnets.
No.
They
That's
don't really
that's,
seem the hipster crowd.
What about Saab? Those cars are hipstermobiles as well.
Not so much.
I mean, everyone when it, in Jalopnik seems to fap over those things.
Wait, which Saab? Don't say the 900.
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh my god, that was like one of the worst vehicles. I don't even know how they sold it. The back wheels literally just roll. The emergency brake is not connected to the back wheels. Emergency brake is connected to the front wheels. The drivetrain is connected to the front wheels. There's literally nothing going on the back wheels. They just sit on
Fucking
independent
hell,
suspension from the rest of
seriously?
the frame and roll.
That's fucked, man. Why did they do that? Seriously.
I don't know. They're Norwegians.
God. Fucking Sweden, man.
We're going to make a car so the emergency brake only goes to the front of the vehicle where the drivetrain is.
The thing is, we need to build a car, but we only work on airplanes. What do we do? We're gonna build a
Oh
car.
my god, you know what though? The Saab Viggen is a phenomenal airplane. If only they had more of that design philosophy in the original cars.
Well, the first car they had that they've ever built was the Earth Saab, so it was very aerodynamic, like a Saab plane.
Well, you know, a car is just like an airplane. You need to have a rudder and you need to have wings. And you need to make sure you generate enough thrust to
You gotta make
exceed
a front-wheel drive for the Scandinavian winters and a two-stroke inline 3-cylinder. Because that's what these came in until they decided to take Ford engines into them.
Okay.
And I mean,
I don't know, some Ford engines are really good, like the Z-Tech series.
Okay, I'm reading this. I'm reading the story of stay away from my boy until he's 18. How Emmanuel Macron was exiled to Paris by father to save him from a drama teacher 24 years older than him. But now she is the reason he wants to succeed. Yes. Yes.
I want to succeed to justify my love for granny porn.
Fuck.
Yeah.
This is priceless, man.
Yeah.
Let's get back to video games. It's more fun.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we
So,
were.
what'd you hear about Prey? I heard good things about Prey gameplay wise, but I'm a little iffy because it's Bethesda, and Bethesda does a lot, but it's Arcane.
Yeah.
And Arcane Studios did a phenomenal job releasing. I won't take it away from them.
Well,
They did a great job releasing Dishonored.
I heard that Prey, that they kind of had to go after an indie studio over another title.
Which is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I believe I read the same article. Like, the original title was called Prey, Prey,
Yeah.
for the gods.
Yeah. Pray for the gods.
It's kind of like a survival versus environment type platformer.
Yeah.
And they had to change it slightly to Praey for the gods.
Yeah.
Which pretty much means the same thing, but avoids the lawsuit.
That's true.
Just ridiculous.
Well, right now, a lot of reviewers are talking about it on Steam. I trust Steam sometimes when they do their reviews. Like they actually.
Well, that's your first mistake.
Let's see. Recommended: Recycled, Half-Life, Dishonored, BioShock, DSX, Dead Space, Crisis, Alien Isolation, and you get Prey for 2017.
It's not a bad selection.
Yeah.
The complaint I heard is that some of the people who bought it were having a problem installing this version of Prey and the original Prey on the same drive. Like, the DRM associated with the title would not allow for both games to exist on the same drive name.
Let's see here.
Which, that's kind of a pain in the ass to the consumer.
Okay. Prey is like BioShock.
It's like, come on, guys, don't pull that shit.
Prey is like BioShock, System Shock, and Dishonored has a gorgeous three-way baby.
That's not how it works. There are only two genders.
Yeah. The cons for this one is there are too fewer enemy types. Most of them are just variant of the same thing. Not a huge fan of the way powers that are aimed and used it. Combat is quite repetitive with phantoms that gets rather annoying when they teleport 5 billion miles away. Quest makers are obnoxious at times.
Sounds like a pretty fair review.
Yeah, that's just the con.
Given what I've seen, it doesn't really, like, unlike the original Prey, there's not a lot of enemy variety.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see here. It's a bit overpriced.
But I mean, it doesn't always it doesn't always help to have a wide array of enemies. Like, let's take one of the games that was brought up on the list earlier, Alien Isolation. You had the Xenomorphs, you had the androids, and you had a couple of humans.
Yeah.
And you had facehuggers. That was your 4 enemy varieties. So, you know, sometimes a good game can be made without having a ton of enemy variety, as long as you're able to properly flesh out the gameplay.
According to this, it runs well so far. Currently getting 130 frames per second on at 1.8. Okay, that's 2K, right? 4K. Okay, 1.4.
What is it? 1440 by 980 or?
1440p.
Yeah, so that's about 2K resolution.
Yeah, so with a 980 Ti. Gameplay.
A 980 Ti. Fucking break it. 980 Ti can push 4K.
Yeah, and he.
I mean,
gets,
that's a 6 gig card.
and
It's got the memory bandwidth to handle it.
Yeah, and it's 130 frames per second. Cons. Let's see here. Let's see.
It's published by Bethesda, the biggest con of all.
Great optimization, maxed out with not a drop in the frame rate. Beautiful art and scenery. Ammo scarce. You better think what you're doing. Rather impressive tech, especially the Looking Glass, Human Revolution style inventory management. Crafting makes sense since the items you pick can. And I do tend to like their reviews sometimes. Some of them can be hilarious.
Oh yeah. I just hate how Steam has changed it because you're no longer going to get the funniest guy up at the top now. You're usually going to get the bottom of the bin.
Yeah, because they had like some really bad comments from people who do some.
Oh,
really...
the game was fun and I liked it.
No, they kind of.
Why did you like it?
Like you remember the one boobs? It has boobs, nothing but boobs. Everyone voted upward on that one. Like it's like that's the only thing they ever do.
Well, it's in response to some of the games are like people are like, well, it has trading cards.
Yeah, like for example, my favorite one. My favorite one was it's like Skyrim with guns.
Far Cry 3. Although to be fair, I have Far Cry 3, but it's on Ubisoft.
Yeah.
How's that for horrific?
Not really. I can understand people can play it on that Ubisoft whatchamacallit app. I really hated that.
The Uplay?
Yeah.
Well, now they've kind of made it a little less annoying to connect to other people who... No, that's not going to work. To other people who enjoy playing the games, you can actually use Steam integration.
That's good because...
You're not going to get dual keys, though. You still have to open Uplay in order to play it, but you can communicate and play with your friends on Steam.
Yeah, because the one thing I hated about that
whereas
is
you couldn't do that before.
You keep getting disconnected off of that thing, and that was the one thing I hated the most about the Uplay software. It had like the stream, like you can stream on it, you can do things, and they were trying.
Well, the major failing is that they wanted to. The major failing is that they wanted to make a platform that could compete with Steam.
Yeah. And they couldn't.
You can't compete with Steam right now. That's very difficult.
Yeah.
GOG is doing a hell of a job, but look at the biggest problem with GOG. They don't get a lot of AAA titles.
Yeah, but they get the
what have I heard
titles.
Before? Oh yeah, games on. Oh yeah, games on Windows and Origin by EA.
Origin is getting tolerable. I mean, before Origin was really, really bad. But now it's gotten more tolerable because they've allowed refunds.
I actually tried Origin, and I'll be honest here. Yeah, honestly,
I don't doubt it.
It's pretty mediocre. And
strictly Eurofag.
And Need for Speed, the other thing, Need for Speed Most Wanted won't play on my computer without it lagging like crazy.
Well, that's kind of why I hated Burnout Paradise City.
Really?
Because you went from having such a great game in Burnout 3, Burnout Revenge, and then Paradise City comes along and you think, oh, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be just like the Burnout, and it's not. It's Need for Speed in a Burnout wrapper.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest here. It wasn't bad. Well, in my personal experience, it wasn't bad. I mean, I enjoyed it.
It's not bad, but I mean, if you want to get stuff like the DeLorean or the Ghostbusters Ecto
You gotta pay.
Cruiser, you gotta pay.
Yeah, I had.
And you gotta pay a hefty amount, and it's like, what?
$30. That's how much I paid for the DLC for that game.
I wanted to play.
Seems ridiculous sometimes.
I wanted to play Star Wars on May the 5th, but I got screwed over because the power went out on this whole freaking area.
Well, you can still pick up one of the best Star Wars games, the Battlefront 2.
I got that one.
Which actually received an update.
I actually got that.
I think it's only like 74 cents on GOG.
Yeah. I actually got all the Star Wars, almost all the Star Wars, except for the Star Wars Lego games.
Yeah. Well, that's your best deal right now. Star Wars Battlefront 2, GOG, under $1.
That's not bad.
Hands down.
Yeah. Under $1.
And there are a lot of community-driven servers and maps, and there's a lot of people who... Like, there's more people playing Battlefront 2 than there are playing
Jedi
Battleborn.
Or yeah, that's true. Yeah, because Battleborn, not. I went down to Fred Meyer's and they were selling that for like $20 on sale. I'm not joking.
Why are they selling for $20? I've seen it for $9.
Well, because it wasn't selling, and then they decided to sell it for $5, and it still didn't sell.
Player base is extremely limited.
Yeah,
and now, you know what? Here's the problem.
I played the beta of it, and there was so many freaking problems with it.
That sucks. You know what's been my biggest problem with it is that both companies, both Blizzard and Gearbox, have taken like an anti-Gamergate stance. Which is fine, whatever. If they don't want to understand everything and they want to paint things with a broad brush, they can do that. They can be incorrect in their opinions.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the Battleborn, I think, was a better standalone product because it actually had a single-player story that didn't require an online connection. So you could work on getting your gameplay down, you could have some fun, you could enjoy the story, and you can unlock characters and skins or whatever along the way. Now, Overwatch, on the other hand, had a similar control aesthetics-wise. I mean, they weren't great. They both had generous hitboxes. They didn't punish missed scopes as badly as a game like CSGO does. Like if you were to play CSGO and you miss a scope shot, you get penalized pretty badly. Like this, if you're zoomed in on Widowmaker for Overwatch, like big deal. You just fire again. You don't have to bolt action reload or whatever.
It's just charged
and up. But what I would argue made Overwatch the success that it is the ultimate mimetic capability of its characters. Like even people who don't play Overwatch and have never picked it up, they would look at somebody like Widowmaker and go, "Oh, I know her. She's Widowmaker the Assassin." And then you put a Battleborn character in front of them, and then they're like, "Who the fuck is this? I've never seen them on a video game before in my life."
I didn't really like the game. It actually had an interesting concept, but at the same time, you can because that game cannot play on certain computers. Battleborn actually.
Which one, Battleborn or Overwatch?
Battleborn. Overwatch can play on.
Well, that makes sense. It's kind of based upon pre-sequel architecture.
Yeah, because
I mean, they didn't really go out on a far limb to make it.
Well, because I know Battleborn. They tried to promote that as an esports game, but that didn't do so well for them. Not many people were interested in it, and it was kind of like the average that you see. It's like a mediocre online battle game, and I thought it was an okay game, but at the same time, you know, I just couldn't get into it because it was just didn't seem like it was one of those games you could get yourself into. Because the problem with
I've
that
been there
game,
before.
yeah, because the game, because the requirements for that thing was just so damn high. Like when I first played the beta.
Well, Overwatch didn't exactly have light requirements.
Well, that's true. It didn't have light requirements, but it did have all.
And well, like I said, ultimately it came down to the mimetic capabilities of the characters. I mean,
True.
Overwatch, you can almost name all the characters without ever putting your hand down. It has practically zero story.
That's
like the
true.
story is in Overwatch seems more of an afterthought than anything.
I'm
it's got
surprised.
microtransactions up the wazoo.
Okay, let me look at this right here because I know that according to the requirements, Intel i5 750 AMD Phenom. Okay, that's lower requirements.
It can't be lower because if it's saying in the 70 and an i5 7500, that's got to be like. Sorry for the noise.
Yeah, and you have Windows. It has Windows 7 64-bit or later. And according to this, it says right here it's DirectX. Okay, AMD HD 7850, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660. No, that can't be right. That can't be right.
That's got to be like recommended, not minimum. Recommended and minimum are two different things.
It's
usually they have like.
Yeah, because I had a hard time.
Yeah, usually recommended is they want to go for an optimized experience. They want to, they want to give you the frames per second that you need in order to thoroughly enjoy it. But it can run. I know people on like a 750 Ti. Or some sort of similar cheaper card.
Yeah, because this thing can run on AMD Phenomenon for some weird reason. And looking at it right now, it's like...
Yeah, AMD Phenom. How old is that fucking processor?
Like, really old.
Exactly.
And it's like...
I don't even... Phenom, then I'm sure.
And it's like, the thing took... It requires like 50 gigabytes of space. That's the recommended. The minimum is like...
Don't even get me started on that because a lot of game manufacturers or whatever, I don't know why, but they're being lazy about compression in games and PC optimization. Like, I don't know. I've never seen this kind of laziness before.
Having 50 gigabytes of space because people want to play games at high end, like 2K or 4K.
Well, it's not even that. You're talking about it that it wants 50 gigs of space so it can give you 20 gigs of uncompressed raw audio.
Yep, that's true.
And that was the biggest problem with... I'm trying to think of the name of it.
HD audio.
It was that mech. It was that mech game.
Mech Warrior.
No, not Mech Warrior.
Which one?
It was the one where you could jump in and out of the mech and like pilot it.
Mech Warrior.
So forgettable right now. They just released the second one at the end of last year. The first one.
Let's see. Last year, I know Mech Assault was another one that you can jump out of it.
Oh, Titanfall.
Titanfall, yeah, Titanfall. That one uses a very costly engine. The first one, I don't know what they use.
Yeah, the first one That was my biggest problem with the first one. It required almost 30 gigs
because they were
of
using
raw audio data.
and they were using
It's like, are you kidding?
and they were using an engine which was the that Valve used. I forget what it was called.
Source?
Yeah, the Source engine.
Well, Source is a very dynamic and useful engine, so I can't really fault that. But Source does also allow for audio optimization.
Yeah, it does a lot, and that's why it uses a lot of big memory, especially for a high quality, especially when they were doing something this high quality for a graphics game, because that was according to
Yeah, but the problem wasn't with the graphical fidelity. The problem was with the audio quality. There's no reason a lot of that audio couldn't be compressed into something like ATTRACK or even, God forbid, MP3.
True.
Like it's uncalled for that it should be in raw WAV. That's just fucking irresponsible in this day and age.
Well, they don't have an encoder. You can't blame them because there's not many software encoders that can allow you to,
You can't blame them though. I mean, look at Doom. Doom is a phenomenal game. Lots of levels, great graphics fidelity, good sound, and the installation is less than 20 gigs, I think.
Yeah, I kind of agree with your point there. But what were they using for that one? Because I know
IdTech engine.
I know they and
I think the
also
IdTech
Vulkan,
engine uses
and they were using
compressed audio.
And they were using Vulkan.
You can use Vulkan. I was running it on DX11.
DX11. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your impressions of Vulkan?
The few games that I've played with it have been okay. Include Doom and I'm trying to think. Well, I can't look it up right now because I'm currently reinstalling an SSD as my boot disk.
It's an API, but it's OpenGL too.
It's something that it definitely shows a lot of promise because I think that my car, while I was trying to play Doom on it in between DX11, the whole reason why I didn't want to switch to DX11 for the rest of my games is because they don't support Vulkan.
Oh, okay.
So it's just kind of, yeah. And most of the time, like, I get home after fucking being out 10 to 12 hours a day. I don't want to sit there and fiddle with graphics drivers. I just want to be able to boot up the game and go.
Okay. Yeah, because I wanted to see how it was, and my impression of it, it's okay. It's not like it's a very bad thing. It can be.
Well, more APIs are never a bad thing. It's just a matter of can a company practically use them or not.
Yeah, because I know that there's some engines that will support it. I know that Source 2 can support it. I know that the Sirius Engine 4 can support it. I know that Unreal Engine 4 can support it. I know ID Tech is trying. They're developing, and it's the same people who did Doom. CryEngine is doing it. Unity. I know that there's a full engine that can go with Xico that supports Vulkan. I know Torque 3D is another one.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one that they're trying to use for Vulkan because there's a lot of there's some potential with it.
Well, potential and execution are two different things.
Yeah.
If you want to promise me the world, you need to have the numbers to back it up.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I do agree with you on that one because the numbers are kind of weird though, because I noticed that a lot of it is basically processing power and graphics cards.
You could argue that it has something to do with the way each card does the graphics processing. Now, I know on the surface to people who play the games, the way an NVIDIA card renders and the way an AMD card renders are completely different ways.
True.
And you're not going to know it from looking at it half the time. But that's kind of why the AMDs get a little bit better in price, because they render the games on a different methodology and architecture as opposed to how NVIDIA does it.
Yeah. I kind of agree with your point there. I'm sorry if I can't really give you the numbers or anything like that, but I do.
That's fine. I wish I could look them up.
Because I know that they right now they're doing initial testings of the new processors and everything, and I know that.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, even the NVIDIA cards are showing promise on Vulkan, because they wanted to make it an open API. They didn't just want to make it exclusive to AMD. They wanted to make it something that anybody who has a graphics card could use it.
Yeah.
Now, initially, it did start out as an AMD-only API.
Yeah.
And I forgot the original name for it, but then they decided to make it an open API, which is better for everybody.
Yeah, because right now, because I know that they're going to probably be implementing it into implementing for I believe for what was it again? Yeah, for new for free operating systems, which is UB10 and other Windows 7 and Windows 8. I know that Linux is supporting it.
Well, right now DX12 is supported by Windows 12.
Yeah.
And DX12 is pretty crazy from what I've seen on the games that play it. But the games that do play on DX12 also play on DX11, which is still available on the older Windows operating systems that aren't quite as intrusive.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if you try to put it on DX12, it just doesn't do much of anything. They just still give you DX11.
It's going to depend. It's going to depend upon the the card manufacturer and
even if you have
the memory bandwidth. There's so many things.
Yeah, because even if you have like a 150 or Pascal, like a Pascal, for example. For the
What's the Pascal architecture card? I can't remember.
That's NVIDIA.
No, Maxwell was the 900. Pascal was what, the 7s?
Yeah. Maxwell's like the 7, I think. The GM
9.
GeForce 750 Ti, GeForce 750, and the GTX 860, and the GeForce 900 series Integra X1. That's the Maxwell.
Now, the interesting thing about the 800 series is those are all mobile cards. The 800 series you'll only find in laptops.
Yeah.
I know because I have one.
Yeah.
Well, my wife. Technically, my wife has it.
I have one of the 10. I have one of the GeForce 10 series. And that's just the 10. I think it's the 1050 one. It's not the best, but it works for me.
10 or 1050 Ti.
It's not. It's the first one. It's like the generic, like GeForce GX 1050.
Still a solid card. I mean, it does.
Yeah, it's cheap.
1080p gaming extremely well. It's 4. What do you have? 4 to?
Yeah. Playing a whole bunch of good intensive graphics games. That's the only thing I'm looking forward to that thing.
Now, see,
but it's also
I'm not going to upgrade mine yet because I was still running a R9 280X, and
280X.
It's the R9 280X is still up there.
They're pretty good. It's a pretty good card.
There isn't a need for a lot of the modern games because I'm not going to be doing 4K gaming.
You don't need to. You can still play with your card if you like it. If you really feel comfortable with that card, it's the card that you should play
It's solid. It performs well.
Yeah.
It's a really good single card solution.
Yeah.
For
I'm just not into
1080p gaming.
I'm just not into the 4K gaming thing. But it's for me, it's like
It's a huge jump though when you go from 1080p to 4K. That's why a lot of the cards that can actually handle 4K well have larger memory allocation.
Yep.
You need to have the memory allocation in order to handle the frame buffering.
True. That I can agree with.
You sound like a politician every time you say that.
I might someday run for president. If you might as well know. No, I'm not going to run for president. I just can't.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to dunk on you. It's just like that's like the third time he said that.
Yes, I am indeed a politician. Yeah, I kind of agree with your point on that whole thing too, because that does seem to sound like, because I tend to say that a lot.
It's just a numbers game when it comes to graphics cards, and you're going to 4K resolution.
It's also price as well. It's also by price, because what you can and can't afford on it, and it's like most people would like the whole more bang for your buck type of thing. Like they always say that to you. Like some graphics cards work, some don't, and if you want to buy the less expensive type of card, most people go to AMD, and AMD tends to have like the thing that you want. If you want something that is more affordable to you and you can gain access to, AMD's your choice. Most people prefer they want the high end HD real stuff, so they go to Intel and also Nvidia for their high fidelity, graphics, 4K gaming, and that's if you want to spend the money for it. There you go.
Interestingly enough, what you'll see is people who usually shell out the extra dosh for like a 970 or 1070, they've bought an AMD processor to save about $100.
Yeah.
And they've taken that money and they parlayed it into a better graphics card.
Yeah. That's why most.
And right now, if the Steam hardware survey, I don't know if you ever looked at it, like the most common card on the market is the 970 GTX.
Yeah, because that thing actually does perform pretty well.
Despite being only 3.5 gigs of RAM.
And that one actually performs pretty well. And a lot of people still love that thing for some reason, because that's the biggest. That's like the most popular card on the market, and it's like, I don't know. Let me look at the cost of that thing.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna find a 970 new anymore. They've phased it out with the 10s.
Yeah, no, they phased it out, but I know that eBay still sells them. Because I found some 90. I remember seeing some 900 series cards for NVIDIA.
I mean, to be honest with you, you could get a 1060 6 gig and have a very similar experience to owning the 970. And you have the extra frame buffer to do some 4K gaming.
Let's see here.
But if you're going to do 4K gaming, you want at least a 1070.
Well, according to this, they're still selling those on eBay for around, the price average you'll see is 160 to 170 for a 9.
I would. I'd rather spend the extra $20 and get an RX 580.
Yeah.
They're between the 970 and the RX 580 by AMD. You've got some very similar specs on everything.
Yeah, it's similar specs.
The only thing that's going to beat both is if you take the jump up to a 1070 GTX.
Let's see. RX 580. Let's see. I know the RX 580 is $254.
That's the 8 gig model.
Yeah, let's see. That's 200. Actually, it's it is the 8 gig model.
The 4 gig model usually runs around the $200 price range, and right now, if you're getting a new card, the RX 580 at the $200, and
Yeah.
sometimes you can find an 8 gig at that,
580,
which
4
can
gigabyte.
handle 4K gaming.
4 gigabyte model is $219.99.
Yeah, you could probably do better.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Say look at a site like Jet or Amazon even.
Yeah. Compared to the ones that cost $1,000 to $700 to $600, I would probably pay for the Red Devil, the Color Power Red Devil RX 550, because a lot of people talk.
Well, it's a trim level,
to
be honest.
Actually, I remember the Blue Color designed some really decent cards.
Oh my god!
And I really do like their brands for Color Power, because Color Power actually has some decent. They make some decent brand cards, and
they made some insane early cards with their whole Devil series.
Yeah.
Like it starts back with the 7990.
Yeah.
Which that card was two 7970 chips sharing a 384-bit bus architecture across 6 gigs of RAM. Especially, it was one card that did your cross-firing for 2 cards. So technically, if you had 2 of them, you could quad crossfire. It was a enormous energy hog, and it was a big card.
And it's the same with this one too, because I remember the people pointing out in the reviews that this thing can draw out a lot of power.
Wait, which one?
The new RX.
The 580?
Yeah.
580 you can still operate off of a 500 watt power supply.
A lot of their 500 series, it does draw out a lot of power, because I remember some people talking about on YouTube.
Now, the 7990 though, JT, that needed 1,000-watt power supply.
Wow.
Damn.
And it was a heavy card too. It was almost 8 pounds of copper. Like it came with a jack that you had to put in your case if you were going to install this card hanging off of the PCIe slot. Like you would put the card in the slot, you would mount the jack, and then you would screw it in.
Yikes.
And the jack would go between the middle of the card and the bottom of the case to prevent it from ripping your PCIe slot out when you're not looking.
Wow.
Just look it up. It did Devil 13 7990.
Yikes. I should never probably... Right now, I'm thinking about building a new computer, but I'm going to probably go with some cheap-ass Intel. Because considering that right now...
Intel makes some great budget boards. The B series right now is an extremely good. It can handle a modest overclock, not a great one. You can drop in the i5 70.
Well, I'm looking for the DDR4 type of thing, so
yeah.
I can try to
get a B150, or I think you can find a B270 for a reasonable price, like under $100.
But I'm gonna go with an i3. Because
I don't see. Here's where I gotta draw the line. I don't think an i3 is worth it. i3s are only dual core processors.
Sure.
If you're going to get an Intel, you're better off getting a quad core, which is i5 or higher.
i5.
It's definitely worth the extra $50 to double your cores.
Yeah.
Like you can get an i5 7600K, or I think around, I think it's 280 right now.
Okay.
And that's, believe me, in terms of processing power, what it can do, it's head and shoulders above an i3.
All right.
It's well worth the investment.
Yeah, I might consider it if I around Christmas time, if they lower the price, I can probably get it for 100.
I don't know if it'll go that low, to be honest.
Well,
with you.
well, you never know, because I know that for a fact that some people can.
Well, some people are upgrading their boards and they want to toss you their old, their old chips. No, they might do that. It's not out of the question.
Yeah.
The only problem is when you buy an older chip, you don't know what kind of beating they were doing on it.
Either that, or I
they...
could go with the Ryzen chips. But then again, I heard they're buggy as.
The Ryzen. Here's the problem the big mistake they made with the Ryzens. All Ryzens are on the same die.
Yeah.
Whereas the Intel chips, from the i3 to the i5 to the i7, they're on different variations of the die.
Yeah.
But on the Ryzen chips, from the 1500 all the way up to the 1700X, it's the same die. Same amount of cores, same amount of architecture. And you could pick up the non-overclocked version, unlock the multiplier. Wow, did I really just say it like Markiplier?
Mm-hmm.
Unlock the multiplier and have an X series right there without having to shell out the extra money for it.
Yeah.
And I would say that's maybe AMD's fault for not
unfortunately,
cutting down on the die.
Have to go.
Okay, man. Take care, man. I'm
Catch
sorry.
you later, Dr.
I'm
Blue.
sorry that we couldn't.
Nah, it's all right.
Why? What did he want to get to?
He wanted to talk about the stuff that happened. Like, there was some really crazy shit that happened in Puerto Rico.
You could have interrupted me.
Nah, it's fine.
I ramble sometimes.
Yeah, apparently there was some social justice warriors that were causing trouble at the college in Puerto Rico.
I believe it.
Yeah, and he told me about it, and it was weird. Especially, there was also a communist that started attacking the banks down in San Juan.
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
That totally makes people want to do communism when you attack the thing that they use to take care of themselves and their family.
Yep.
Don't go attack the businesses that profiteer off of the backs of you and your family. Go and attack the business that just holds the money for you and your family. Smart move.
Yeah. Either that or just get one of those little Ryzen 5 CPUs.
Ryzen 5 is not a bad CPU. And like I said, it's literally cut on it's the same die as the 1700X.
Yeah.
So the multiplier, did I just say it like Markiplier again?
Yeah. Multiplier, you said it.
Multiplier isn't too hard to unlock.
Yeah.
So you can be getting a decent performance boost. The only thing that I've really seen is that it does have, with the lower end Ryzens, they have a small amount of bottleneck.
Yeah.
When it comes to handling more powerful graphics cards.
Yeah, because I know for a fact.
Now, if you're not,
they had the issue with that bug the BIOS bug that they explained. Like, they haven't really released a lot of the BIOS updates for that thing. Like, I know for a fact that they're still trying to fix the issue with the RAM issue, because I know the RAM is one of the biggest issues. The RAM frequency for a lot of the Ryzens can't work. Like, they can't overclock as they can only overclock around I believe 266.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the timing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because there's a
unfortunately, my resource machine is installing update 175 out of 197.
Yeah,
It's going to be like an all-night project.
I actually had to use an OEM for this, for Windows 7, and I had to troubleshoot so many issues with this just to make this thing
It's
work.
not even an OEM. My original drive disk has mechanical issues with the read arm.
Yeah,
So I don't know if you're
Windows 7 8 is updates are really
I don't know if you're too familiar with some of the noises hard drives like to make when they're in trouble.
like the click sound.
Well, if it's like click click click, that means that the read arm is stuck and it's not going to move. It's not going to look at any other source on the disk.
Yeah.
Now, the sound that I was getting was a chirp.
Mm-hmm.
And what the chirp is the computer, the head on the hard drive that reads it has lost the data track. It can no longer maintain the information on the track. So the spindle starts to kick into high revs to try to get the read head back into the position it used to be.
And it didn't work that well.
And it'll do it a couple times, and then you might want to stop it. If it continues because what'll happen is that chirp is actually the spindle speeding up.
Yeah, I had a big problem with my computer back then, and it kept doing the clicking sound, and I really hated it. And
oh, like I said, clicking is a stuck read arm.
Yeah, and of course I had to I had to throw away that computer because I had to gut it out, take out all the parts, and got rid of it. Gave it to somebody that wanted it, and I said okay. And he traded me some stuff for it, and I was like, okay, I'll take it. And he gave me this old GTX 980 series graphics card, and I just basically donated to a computer service. And they taught me how to build a computer. After a while, I learned, and they taught me, and I learned a really valuable lesson on how to build this machine.
That's cool.
That I had to troubleshoot the whole damn system. Because the graphics card, I had a hard time but I learned that one thing, that that ASUS motherboards are pretty decent. They can actually work and are easy to use. ASUS.
Yeah. ASUS is pretty good. I like Ace Rock.
Yeah.
I have a different reason for liking Ace Rock though. Ace Rock boards are a little bit more ruggedized.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have anti-condensation features on them. And I live in a very mountainous area that has a tendency to get quite humid during the summer. So I need to have something like that.
Yeah.
I need to have something that has a bit of ruggedization to it.
That's interesting. Let me see what's in the gaming news these days.
Do those words even exist together?
Yeah, gaming news and PC stuff. Like, are you excited about the new Vega? No. Then fuck off. Are you
excited about the JT Vega? He'll give you a thrill.
No, they actually are releasing AMD's releasing a graphics card called the Vega, and not many people are interested in that thing because after what happened with the other graphics cards that were released, the 500 series, people were like, "Nah, I'll wait."
Well, and the bigger problem, not the 500, because they finally managed to regulate it well on the 500, is initially when it was the RX 480, it would draw an unsafe level of power from the PCIe slot instead of having both an 8-pin or a 6-pin adapter.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that when it would draw too heavily from the board, it could cause capacitors to blow out.
Wow.
And when capacitors blow out, your board's fucked.
That's weird.
You can't really replace them. You have to go get a new board.
Yeah, that would really burn out the sockets and everything.
That's kind of why they were working on getting it away, getting that whole power draw away from the PCIe slot, and why they added an 8-pin power connector in order to more effectively regulate the power draw that the card took.
Wow. Yeah, and they did add some power connectors, that's for sure. When I looked at the new models and everything, you pointed that out pretty well.
It may not seem like it, but I try to keep up on this shit.
Yeah, because I kind of because
it's a little bit of a hobby. I like to build. I like to look at what's different. I like to formulate new builds. Whether or not I got the funds to make it is another story, but that doesn't mean I can't put it together in my head.
I'm thinking about building a computer someday, but because I do have one of those old built. I'm thinking about using a build that I'm going to try to work on this computer that I'm making, and then I'm going to just sell this one for probably around $300 or $200. Because
what's the processor?
Or it's an AMD 43. I think it was a 4350 processor.
So it's not an FX series?
It is an FX series.
Okay. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I do like it. It's just I'd
say the penultimate AMD chip from the previous generation was the 8350 or the 8250, excuse me.
Yeah, a lot of people are going with that 9 something. Because they actually have a 9000 series. I think it was like one of the FX 9000, which I don't know why they would sell that for about, let me see, FX 9 5. Like they have like the 9550 series of chips. Let me see if they have it.
Yeah, I'm going to bounce here in a little bit. Starting to wear out.
That's fine, man. Go ahead and I'm going to probably end this stream.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Nah.
And
thank you so much for coming.
Stop chasing away the Europeans by posting Anne Frank pictures. I don't know why they're very touchy about that subject.
I don't know why they would be afraid of Anne Frank. It's like
I don't think it's Anne Frank specifically. They have a lot of Holocaust denial laws and stuff that are, that could result in fines and shit over there.
If I try to bring up Anne Frank, it's like in Call of Duty. What if Anne Frank stabbed a Nazi in the neck with an ink pen, and no one known about it?
And she broke the end off, so his blood poured out like a keg.
Yep. It's like, come on. Don't take me seriously.
You know it's a ridiculous premise. I know it's a ridiculous premise. But is the government going to understand the presence? And I can tell you from experience, you cannot rely on the government to understand anything in the simplest of terms.
That's true.
At all. Any government. Doesn't matter where you go.
And yet they want to they want to try to do this stuff. But anyways, I'm going to probably end this stream right now. Thank you for coming.
No problem. My pleasure.
Yeah,
thank you for having me.
I know that things haven't been.
And thanks for everybody that was viewing.
Yeah. So how's everyone at the Green Rapist doing? Are they still doing streams together?
Occasionally. Everything's slowed down. It's a lot of them that are involved are academic professionals or they're in college right now. So
Okay,
you have people that are dealing with finals and stuff like that.
I understand.
So once summer hits, we'll probably be doing more.
Hopefully things won't be that bad. Anyways, I'm going to end this. Good night, everyone.